And we welcome you to Pikeview High School. Tonight, video production presents exciting high school football. It's the 6-3 Shady Spring Tigers, ranked number 16 in Class AA, taking on the Panthers from Pikeview, who are 2-6. Hello again, everybody. I'm Maris Lowry, along with Eric Thomas, Chris Farish, once again on stats. Andrew Bowling will be producing and directing tonight's game, and our main man, Nick Eskins, will be working on camera. Well, Eric, it's a rare Tuesday night. It's a makeup game, and it's a game that Shady needs desperately after coming off that huge win against Liberty on Friday, 29-26. Shady at 6-3 have put themselves in position with a win tonight to qualify for the postseason.
Yeah, Shady coming off of a great win against county rival Liberty, and it was the last play of the game. They were attempting to kick a field goal, scoop it up, and score, and win the game outright. And tonight, a lot's on the line on senior night here in Pikeview, and they want to solidify and maybe move up in the rankings with the win tonight.
And you know how good Raleigh County football has been, because Independence has already solidified their position undefeated. Their season's over at 8-0, and they're waiting to see who they will play in the playoffs. They were locked into the 2 position. Liberty, with their final regular season game at Wyoming East on Friday, with a win by Liberty, would more than likely lock themselves into a playoff position. And as we mentioned, if Shady can win tonight, so you could have Independence, Liberty, and Shady all in Class AA be 3 of the 16 teams in the AA playoffs from Raleigh County. Yeah,
and that's big in any county. I mean, if you have 3 teams probably separated by 10 miles, in the playoffs, that's a good year for your county.
Well, as we mentioned, a rare Tuesday night. The field, Eric, especially for this late in the season, not to be turf, is in excellent playing condition.
Yeah, with the weather, I was worried that this is my first visit down to Pikeview and viewing the football field, and it's in extremely good condition.
Yeah, considering we got a very cold night here tonight. We had rain most in the region in the Beckley area. Actually, this morning in Beckley, Eric, we had snow, and we had a little bit of rain on the way down here, but hopefully the rain will stay away, but it's going to be a frigid night. And when I say frigid, because we're going to be 40 or below before the night's done.
Yeah, and I'm thinking by the time this game ends, it'll be in the mid-30s
right.
or 30s, and there's a wind chill, factor with the wind blowing a little bit, but these guys are probably gassed up, and a lot of people say football weather, but in the 40s it is kind of football weather.
Well, maybe or not if you're sitting on them cold bleachers, it may not be football weather.
Yeah,
for you and I up here with making all the hot air that we make, maybe it's okay up here. But anyway, we'll get you ready for Pikeview and Shady here from Pikeview here in Mercer County at Gardner, West Virginia, here at the top of the hour. We'll go ahead and take our first pregame break as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications or strings or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
And we welcome you back to Mercer County here at Pikeview High School with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry, and we'll have this game on a rare Tuesday, Eric, here at the top of the hour for Shady, 6-3. They got a big win, as we mentioned in our first segment, Friday night against Liberty. And with the win tonight, the Tigers can punch their ticket to the postseason.
I mean, that's all you want. You want it in your hands as a team. You know, you decide your own fate. And I expect Shady, to come out really fired up. But on the other hand, Pikeview's not playing for the playoffs, but they would like nothing better than to knock Shady Spring out of the playoffs.
Yeah, there's no question. This is senior night for Pikeview. Now, Pikeview is 2-6. They'll have one more game after tonight, so it's a tough week where they played Friday. They played tonight, just Pikeview with the Shady game, and then Friday night they got to go against a very good Nicholas County team. So there's nothing more than Pikeview would like to send their seniors out on a win and also knock Shady out of the playoffs.
And exactly right. And the thing is, early in the year, Pikeview, this county was shut down, Mercer County, and doing some research on the game, they did lose some tough games early. When they came back, they played playoff, Bluefield, who's outside of the playoffs looking in right now, and they lost 66-0. But since then, Maris, they've got a few players back from the COVID, got their top wide receiver back in Dylan Blake, who has been on fire the last 3 games. I think he's got almost 400 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns the last 2 games.
Yeah, and Peyton Greer will run the offense at quarterback position for Pikeview tonight. Of course, Shady will be looking at what we've seen most of the year. Cameron Manns, he's been solid at the quarterback position. You've got Jacob Showalter and Tyler Mackey at the wideout. But Shady's had an injury in the running back with Seller, so we'll probably see a lot of Caleb Whitaker running the ball tonight.
Yeah, and Caleb Whitaker has 700 yards rushing on a team that passes the ball a lot. So they've been real effective when they ran the ball. So look for them maybe to give him a heavy dose of carries maybe early on.
So we'll take our second pregame break, come back and get you ready for the 6 o'clock kickoff tonight between 6-3 Shady and 2-6 Pikeview. You are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Plumbing and Heating of Beckley, West Virginia is now hiring journeyman or master plumbers. You must have a West Virginia plumbing license and a valid driver's license. All interested parties may apply at Modley's Plumbing and Heating at 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Or interested applicants can call 304-253-HELP. Once again, you may apply in person at Modley's Plumbing and Heating, 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Modley's Plumbing and Heating is an equal opportunity employer.
What's more important to you when buying windows, siding, and doors?
Is it energy savings, cost, quality, warranty, or perhaps color options, low maintenance, service, or financing options?
Or all of the above, Window World offers it all.
We listen to your needs and go above and beyond your expectations. Schedule your free, no obligation, in-home estimate by calling Window World of Beckley today.
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way,
tell them Hug sent you.
That's right. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
If you're looking to sell your vehicle, Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot. Whether you're still making payments or have a clear title, we'll turn your car into cash today at Auto Buyers of West Virginia. So come see us at Cranberry Creek Shopping Center off Eisenhower Drive in Beckley. Auto Buyers of West Virginia, the simple, safe, and secure way to sell your vehicle.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview High School across a blue-gray, I was going to say October sky, but it's a November sky. Got a little bit of wind, Eric, and a rare game on Tuesday night. This is a makeup game from earlier in the year, and it's a very important game. And obviously for Shady, with a win tonight, that will punch their ticket to the postseason. And Shady knows that if they were to win this game tonight and they do make the playoffs, they know they're going to be on the road. But, you can't win it unless you're in it, and a win tonight will put them in it.
And it's good for the teams, to make the playoffs, and that it makes the younger kids really, really drive to get in the playoffs, because it's a special thing to be 16 team playoff and have a chance to advance.
Well, you're right, and it's an experience for your football team. You get that extra practice, and who knows, no matter where you get in, no matter what your regular season was like, everybody's 0-0, and upsets, a lot of things happen. So you got to get in, and if you're Vince Colasorto, that's what you think you're going to get Pikeview's best shot here tonight, because Pikeview, they're 2-6. There's no postseason for them, and it is senior night. They've got another game on Friday, does Pikeview against Nicholas County. So I think that we're going to see a really good football game here tonight.
Yeah, and when we did our preseason, game, going around and visiting all the teams, Maris, if we could have talked to Coach Vince Colasorto and said, coming down to your last game, you held your fate, he would sign up for that, to get into the playoffs.
No question about that, Eric. And I think if you ask any coach in any class that you get down to your last regular season game and all you have to do, win and you're in, I think any coach would say, where do I sign up for that? Because like you said earlier, you create your own destiny. Shady making their way out on the field. The band is out on the field. They're going to have the national anthem. So we'll take our final pregame break, come back and get you ready for the kickoff at the top of the hour as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
At Pioneer Community Bank, your banking needs are our priority. Looking to buy a home, a vehicle, or just need a personal loan for that special project? Our loan professionals are here for you. We also offer all business banking products, which allows us to serve all your financial needs. Set up your online banking at pioneercommunitybank.com and download the mobile app for your convenience and ask about our personal and business products today. Pioneer Community Bank, investing in Southern West Virginia since 1931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dad, what is a backflow prevention device?
Well, it's a device that's used to protect water supplies from contamination or pollution in homes or businesses.
Is that why you were talking to that man?
Well, he was a certified plumber from Modley's Plumbing and Heating. Modley's is fully licensed and insured in testing, installation, and service of backflow prevention devices. I just call 304-253-HELP, and they'll take care of it the right way.
I thought it was something for the car, so Mom wouldn't hit the house again when she was backing up.
And there you have the playing of the national anthem by the Pikeview High School Marching Band. We're moments away from getting the game started. Shady's already made their way out onto the field, as you can see across the way at the top of your screen. Of course, Shady will be wearing the gold helmets with the white uniforms and those gold numbers, Eric, that I hate on those white jerseys, but a little bit lighter with an earlier start. And I'm a little closer to the field, so maybe I won't have as much trouble in the gold pants. Pikeview we're still waiting for them to make their entrance to the field. And while we have a minute, Eric, it's time for our Beckley Auto Mall Keys to the First Half. And Keys to the First Half brought to you by Beckley Auto Malls. You can go see Rick Lewis, Chuck Bentley, Mike Earhart, or John Fornash, and they'll give you the keys to the vehicle of your dream. And if they don't have have it, they can get it, and it'll be easy on your wallet. So Beckley Auto Mall, keys to the first half. Eric, what you got?
Okay, for both teams, I was thinking about this earlier. You need to really, they're both passing teams, but you really, whoever establishes the run first, move the chains, get some first downs. I think it's integral to winning at least, the field position in the first half. And if you're Pikeview, that's one way to keep the Shady offense off the field. And if you're Shady, you need to really establish the run to open up those passing lanes and try to hit some big plays over top.
One of the things you said earlier, that this is your first visit here at Pikeview for a football game. Mine also. I've only been to Pikeview one other time when I was doing girls basketball for the Lady Flying Eagles. Beckley opened up the season, I think the 18-19 season or 19-20. All of it runs together, but I remember the very first game was at Pikeview. So this is my first trip here to the football field. And as we mentioned, for any time, especially this late in the season, to have this grass surface to be as nice as it is with the numbers big and, the hashes, everything, this field is in excellent playing condition for this late in the season.
Yeah, I really don't think the field conditions will affect either team either way. I mean, it's excellent grass, natural grass field, and it looks really good, looks very playable.
Yeah, and, hopefully the rain will stay away. Like I said, in the Beckley area, we had rain mixed with a little snow earlier this morning. It's going to be cold. We're probably a little under 40 degrees here at kickoff, and it's probably not going to get any warmer than what it is right now. So for the players, maybe just a little cold. But I think for the players, I think once the game starts, you just kind of adapt to it.
Yeah, you really adapt to it. And usually, in these long seasons, I'd rather play in early November, late October than that August kickoff, because it was miserable. If you can remember the Independence Liberty game, how hot it was, guys cramping up. So these conditions are better, I feel, for football.
I would agree. With no rain, no weather, even though it's a little cloudy, obviously they got lights here at the stadium, and that is much better for sure as opposed to that opening game, which was way back on the 27th of August, back when we had that first game between Liberty and Shady. As you mentioned, we had all the people cramping up and how hot it was. In fact, we even had a delay because of lightning. That was because of heat lightning, because it was so hot in that first game. So I would agree with you that a night like tonight is more conducive for players than it was that night.
Yeah, and the conditioning part of it is it's a lot easier to breathe the cooler it is. And so I don't really look for the weather. The kids will enjoy this. I don't think it'll be a mud bowl because, like you said, the field is in terrific condition. So they're just ready to flip the coin and tee it up.
Yeah, the captains are making their way to the center of the field. Of course, as you can see on your screen, Pikeview will be wearing the black uniforms with red numbers. And see, that's if you're going to have red numbers, I like that. You got red on black, and I can see that outlined in white, trim, right, with the black pants. And, of course, Shady in their traditional white with the gold pants, gold helmet. They have those gold numbers on their uniform, and we wait for the toss of the coin. And we'll be moments away from getting this game started. Glad you're with us here on video production. And, of course, Eric, you and I will have the pleasure of going to the next season, which is the postseason in football. And right now it looks like we're going to be following the Independence. Of course, this Friday will be the last regular season games. And then Saturday and definitely by Sunday we'll know what the pairings are, the dates, the times, all of that.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where, all the coaches amp it up a little bit, know you get in the playoffs, because once you cross over into the second week of November, everything's on the line. You lose, you go home. So these coaches really getting their teams prepared, and look for this is a playoff atmosphere, I feel, too, because Pikeview has nothing to lose, and they're ready. They would like nothing more than to knock off the Shady Spring Tigers and say that's a feather in their cap, knocking them out of the playoffs.
Well, Pikeview is going to get first crack at getting the football. They will have it. They'll work right to left on your screen, and their quarterback, the young man Peyton Greer, a 6 foot, 160-pound junior, will be the man to lead them out as Shady brings their kickoff team out, and they're ready to tee it up there at the 40-yard line. But once again, for this time of year on the 2nd of November, a little chilly outside, but I'm sure if you're in the comfort of your home, and we appreciate your attendance here on video production, we think you're going to be in for a very good game. And, Eric, we think we're going to be in for a very entertaining game.
Yeah, let's tee it up. And the Shady won the toss, I'm guessing, and deferred to the second half. And they're going to put their defense out there first and see what happens.
Going back on the far side is going to be Dylan Blake. He'll be one of the 3 receivers. And actually now they put him in the middle of the field. And, you know, Eric, they're moving guys up to the 20. We've kind of seen this pretty much all year, that none of these teams really kick the ball deep. They're into squibbing it. And usually as we get the game started, here comes the kick. This is a little deeper kick, and it's going to be Dylan. He'll take it inside the 20. He dropped it, fumbles it, and he's able to get on it right there about the 20-yard line, maybe the 21. So that was a pretty good kick to start things off. And Pikeview will have their first opportunity as they'll have the ball on their own 21-yard line. Pikeview will be working right to left as you're viewing your television screen.
And it looks like that kick finally worked out for Shady. You drew it up. This is a 80-yard drive just to get a score, and this is usually most teams that Shady kicks it off to scrimmages it at the 40.
Right, so it'll be Greer, the quarterback, Peyton Greer, 6 foot, 160-pound junior. He will work out of the shotgun, take the snap. It's a handoff, runs up the middle, and they try to push the pile out to the 25-26. A really good gain on first down.
And then this is one thing that worries me about the Shady Spring defense. We've had a chance to do them a few times, and in between the tackles, they seem like they get ran on pretty well in between the tackles. So look for them to maybe try to blitz a little more, use their linebackers, and creep up in the box. But with it being a passing team, they're spreading them out and creating lanes.
So it'll be second short on their own 28-yard line. Once again, out of the shotgun, it's another running play. It's Dillon this time off the right side. They'll push the pile. They'll get past the sticks and have a first down, and they'll move the chains. And so it'll be first down. Let's see where they put him down. Looks to be about the 33, 34-yard line. That carry was the lengthy receiver that time. Dylan Blake carried the ball, and it's a first down out to the 39-yard line.
Yes, I had a chance to do a basketball game back during basketball season. This Dylan Blake is a really, really athletic player, plays all 3 sports, so look for them to use this guy. He's a horse.
Yeah, they line him up in multiple positions. He's in the backfield right now. Here's the shotgun snap. Here's a running play for Pikeview. They'll get the ball up over the actually, I said the 39. It was the 34-yard line where they started that drive, and that is Shrewsbury carrying the ball, and it'll get out over the 35 out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that was Austin Shrewsbury. He's the 5'8", 165-pound junior, and look for them to use multiple backs. And this is what, if you're the coach of Pikeview, what you're drawing up. You really want to run the ball between the tackles and get them to suck up and maybe try to hit one over top real big.
2nd and 7 for Pikeview. Have the ball on their own 37. Here's a running play. Comes to the near side. There's room. Crossing the 40. Crosses the 45. That's a nice run that time. And this young man, I was told, had changed his name. And that is Barnes carrying the ball as he found a little seam and moves the ball across the 45 to the 46 for a first down.
Yeah, Emilion Barnes, he's a big running back as well. He's just a sophomore, and he's a load to bring down.
So Barnes totes the mail, as I mentioned, across the 45. It'll be 1st and 10 Pikeview. This is their 3rd first down on the drive. And they'll have it at their own 46-yard line. Just under 10 minutes for the opening quarter. Here's a quarterback keeper coming near side. There's some running room. Crosses midfield into Shady territory at the Shady 49. And that's a good job that time by Peyton Greer, the quarterback. And that was a straight run all the way.
You know, and the one thing you said at the top of the broadcast, that Shady's missing James Sellards, and they won't miss him as much on offense as they will defense. He's one of the linebackers, you know, that takes him off the field, and this running game might try to take advantage of that.
Well, Pikeview able to pick up 5 yards on first down, make it 2nd and 5, and you can get 5 yards on first down. That makes a lot of things go great for your offense. As Peyton Greer, the quarterback, takes the shotgun snap. Here's a handoff to the near side, and that's going to be close to another first down as Shady stacks him up at the 45-yard line. It might be about 6 inches short, depending on where they put him down, but very third and maybe 6 inches here, Eric.
Well, you have to like what you see here from this Pikeview coaching staff and Coach Spears. The last few games they've been, you know, in the air attack, and then they come out with the run. I'm sure Shady's probably prepared for a lot of passes, you know, early on, because the quarterback, as you said, Peyton Greer, he's thrown for 893 yards on the season and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, that last running play was by Austin Shrewsbury, 5'8", 165-pound junior. It's 3rd and about 6 inches. Here's the snap. Waiting for it is Peyton Greer. He gets the snap. Here's a handoff. This is going to be a first down run inside the 40 and more, down inside the 35. That's a nice, good run that time. Once again by Pikeview, and nice run on the play is Barnes.
Yeah, Emilion Barnes, right, like straight ahead. You know what they're doing? They're taking a page from Nicholas County. they're really just outflanking them a little bit, going double tights, coming in, and they're just putting a hat on a hat, and just it's not rocket science football here. They're just running straight at the Shady Spring defense.
Yeah, that was a nice gain. It's a 12-yard pickup for Barnes, a 1st and 10 for Pikeview at the Shady 33. We're at 8:15 and counting, opening quarters. You can see on your screen Pikeview on the move with the 1st and 10. Here's the shotgun snap. They're going to hand the ball off to their lengthy receiver that, like I said, multi-purpose guy, which is Dylan Blake. He lines up in the slot, wide receiver. That time he lines up in the backfield, and he gets a nice gain on 1st down.
Hey, you have to utilize that frame and that athleticism. I mean, 6'3", 175-pound kid put together, and Pikeview's doing a really good job of shuffling people in and out and keeping fresh legs on this drive.
He gets down to the 31-yard line, so he got 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7, and it'll be out of the shotgun again for Peyton Greer, the Pikeview quarterback. Puts a man in motion, takes a snap. It's a running play for Greer all the way. Got a block on the edge, and he's got a nice little gain as he gets the ball down inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and that time the linebacker for Shady, I think that might have been Bryson Pinardo, who comes in averaging 18 tackles a game, and he did a good job from his linebacker position to hold that to a minimal gain.
It's down to the 28-yard line. He picked up 3, but, Eric, this will be the 10th play of the drive, and they're using a lot of clock. We're almost 5 minutes into the first quarter.
And that's what's sometimes your best defense is offense, and this is keeping cameramans and those wideouts off the field and really grinding on this Shady, the interior of the defense.
So it's going to be a 3rd and 5 play. You figure they've got 2 downs and to pick it up. They put a man in motion, which is Dylan. Here's Greer, takes the snap. Here's a handoff. Comes on their side, and Shady's all over that. The Tigers were able to bust that play up and shut it down, and it's going to go for a loss back across the 30-yard line.
And that was a huge play by the Shady Spring defense. Finally able to penetrate that front line for Pikeview, and now it's getting the down and distance, so it'll be 4th and probably 8 yards to go here.
Yeah, they put the ball back at the 32-yard line, and they're going to need to get inside the 25, so they're going to need a good 8 yards here. And Pikeview yet to throw it, so we'll see what they do. This will be the 11th play of the drive, the previous 10 on the ground. Peyton Greer will bring them up. They'll spread them out, work out of the shot. Greer waits on the snap, gets it to throw. Sets in the pocket, throws, it's completed, and that's going to be a 1st down. They found a seam, and that's a nice completion as Greer able to find the receiver on the connection for the 1st down and hauling that in.
Is Nathan Reif, and what they did, they put Nathan Reif out, split out wide to the near side boundary here, and they had Dylan Blake in the slot, and everyone went with Dylan Blake, and Reif was able to find the soft spot in that zone and get the 1st down.
Pick up 14 yards and get the ball to the 18-yard line of Shady, so it's a 1st down. Here's Greer out of the gun. On the snap, hands the ball to Blake. He tries to get to the outside. He elutes one tackler, breaks another tackle. He's not done yet. He's down near the 10-yard line.
I think he's fumbled the football.
I think he has fumbled. The referee on the far side saying he's down.
Okay,
as
down.
he gets to the 10-yard line.
Okay.
So that's Dylan Blake on that sweep, and he's going to pick up 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, and at that time, I don't know. It was a bang-bang play, so we'll go with the ref's ruling. But Dylan Blake was very lucky to retain possession of that football, as it looked like he may have fumbled before he was down.
So actually they're going to spot him down at the 11-yard line. It's still 2nd down, 2nd and 3 coming up for Pikeview. We're approaching 5:20 for the first quarter. Pikeview's had the ball the entire time. Here's the shotgun snap to Greer. Here's a handoff. Comes to your side, and Shady's in there to throw it for a loss. A nice defensive play, and I think that was Pinardo in on the play as well.
Yeah, and you can see why Pinardo averages 18 tackles a game there. See, he has a nose for the football, and that's big right here. Once you get into this red zone, the way they've been running, they can pick up a 1st down still. But you want to make them have to put the ball up because it's harder to complete a pass inside the 20-yard line because your routes are a lot shorter, and if you can get to the quarterback before the route develops.
Yeah, they're going to need about 6 yards here on this 3rd down play. So let's see if they elect to throw the ball. They've got wide receivers to each side and to throw it across the middle. It's caught for a 1st down inside the 5. Once again, another well-thrown ball by the quarterback, Peyton Greer, and he delivers a strike for a 1st down. So 1st and goal for Pikeview as they have the ball down inside the 5-yard line. They'll put the ball at the 4.
And that was a completion to Dylan Blake. That was his first catch. And look for him to be big inside the red zone here for the Pikeview Panthers.
This has been a nice drive. This will be the 15th play of the drive. It'll be 1st and goal for Pikeview at the 4-yard line. This time they'll work out of the I formation. The first time under center is the quarterback. They'll hand it up, trying to move the pile, and that is Shrewsbury trying to move the pile, and he's able to get the ball near the goal line as they'll take it from the 4 down to the 1. So it'll be 2nd and goal for Pikeview. They have the ball at the Shady 1. This will be the 16th play of the drive. And, Eric, they've used almost the entire quarter. We're under 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and all the games we've done and having broadcast independence with that quick strike offense, this is old school football, man. It's just smash right up the middle.
2nd and goal. There's the quarterback sneak, and there's a touchdown. So that's the touchdown, a 1-yard run from the quarterback, Peyton Greer. That was a 16-play, 79-yard drive, and Pikeview is on the board 6-0. And Eric, that's how you draw it up. Like you said, that's an old school play, an old school drive rather. They threw 3 passes. So they had 16 plays. They had 13 runs, 3 passes, and they're in the end zone. And now they're going to line up and go for 2.
And go for 2. And this is big right here if you can get 8 points on the board and really stress.
Here's Greer on the move. He dives in, and he's going to get there, I believe. I'm waiting for the official. They say no, his knee must have hit the goal line before he got across. So the 2-point conversion doesn't go. But Pikeview with a tremendous drive, a 16-play, 79-yard drive. There's 3:44 left in the opening quarter. It's 6-0 in favor of Pikeview. We'll take our first break as you're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, Jack, did you see those new windows and doors the homeowner put on their home?
Yeah, and this new door they set us next to is sweet as pumpkin pie.
It's made in America, quality made and efficient too.
There's no time like now to buy new windows, siding, and doors from Window World of Beckley.
Choose from many door styles, siding colors, and window, glass, and grid options. We'll help you design your perfect home.
Call Window World of Beckley for your new window, siding, and door estimates.
And here comes the ensuing kickoff, and it's going to go out of bounds. So that's going to be a penalty as Pikeview is kicked off. But, Eric, prior to this kickoff, that last drive, the opening drive of the ball game for Pikeview, 16 plays, 79-yard drive, a 1-yard touchdown run from the quarterback, Peyton Greer, rather. And, boy, that's what you call a punch-in-the-mouth drive, that opening drive of the game.
And it did exactly what we said, at the top of the hour. It chewed up 9 minutes of the clock, 8 minutes and change of the clock, and that's what you need. But you didn't need that kickoff and give Shady Spring early, great field position.
And they'll take over where the ball went out of bounds. As here's a running play on first down. It's going to lose a couple yards. They'll take over on their own 44-yard line.
And that was Whitaker with the carry.
And he gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Yeah, probably a 1-yard loss there, and look for Pikeview to really pin their ears back and try to come and shut this run game down for the Shady Spring Tigers.
Yeah, the loss will go back 1 yard, as you mentioned, Eric, back to the 43, make it 2nd and 11 as Cameron Mans will work out of the shotgun. He'll have twin receivers to the top of your screen, one here to the bottom of the screen. Mans takes the shotgun snap to throw, sets in the pocket, throws across, it's deflected and almost intercepted.
Yes, almost. Emilion Barnes right there playing linebacker, just mirroring the quarterback and dropped back and nearly had a pick right there. So now Shady's down a distance. They're in danger of giving the ball right back to this Pikeview offense.
Yeah, after Pikeview used almost that whole quarter, you definitely don't want to go 3 and out.
Yeah, I mean, your defensive front was pretty much worn on that. That last drive. You need a couple first downs just to give the D a rest.
So here's 3rd and 11. Out of the shotgun, Mans takes the snap. They bring a blitzer. He's forced out of the pocket, throws down the near sideline. It's high and incomplete. They brought pressure with Barnes, and that forced Cameron Mans out of the pocket, and it was well covered downfield. And just like that, it's 3 and out, and Shady's going to have to give the ball back up.
And just like that was almost another interception. They're doing what they can, Pikeview, to keep Cameron Mans off his spot, off his mark. Try to get him out of the pocket and force him to throw on the run. And almost coming up with the interception was Braden Dalton for the Pikeview Panthers, and he's just a freshman.
So it'll be punt time for Shady. And going back to receive the punt will be Dylan Blake for Pikeview. He's standing, Blake is about his 10-yard line. Here's the snap, here's the kick. It's a nice punt. It hits on the far side about the 15 and will roll down to, actually it hits on the 25, I beg your pardon, and roll not maybe quite to the 20. And the ball will go out maybe, looks like it went over the 20 and out of bounds. And let's see where Pikeview will start this drive from. So Shady has the possession, and they go 3 and out. And they had great field position after the Pikeview kickoff went out of bounds. And Pikeview is going to take over. Let's see where they'll put it down at the 19, looks like. The 19-yard line, I believe, or no, yeah?
They have 17 on the board, 17-yard line.
So the 17-yard line is where Pikeview will take over with 1st and 10, working right to left, leading 6-0. Here's Barnes on the carry, comes near side, broke one tackle, trying to get away from the second defender, can't, and gets the ball out to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 3.
And they're doing what they can, to try to get these running backs outside. This is a big possession here defensively early in this game for Shady Spring. They need to try to get a 3 and out and get the ball back on offense.
Because Pikeview has dominated the time of possession. That first touchdown drive was a 16-play, 79-yard drive. Had 13 runs and 3 passes, and they really mixed it up good at Pikeview, and they converted and got in the end zone. They missed the 2-point conversion, so the Panthers lead, as you can see on your screen, 6-0. We're approaching 2 minutes remaining first quarter. It'll be a second down play for Pikeview on their own 20-yard line. Here's the shotgun snap. Quarterback keeps. Tries to get to the outside, and Shady does a good job of really turning that up, and looks like no gain on the play.
Yeah, no gain on the play, and your defense did what they could against the run here, which sets up a 3rd and around 8 here, and look for Pikeview to put it up in the air, and they're going to probably spread them out and look for Dylan Blake to get a look here.
Yeah, actually that was a loss back inside the 20 to the 19, so you're right, Eric. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up. We'll see what Peyton Greer will cook up here as we're about a minute and a half and counting remaining in the first quarter. Pikeview might be calling a timeout as they're looking over here, and I think they are going to burn a timeout. I'm looking to see if there is a play clock here, and I don't see one, but Pikeview is going to take a timeout. So with 1:19 remaining here in the first quarter, Eric, and we've seen Pikeview run 18 plays. Shady run 3 and a punt. So if you're Shady and you're Coach Cole Serta, this is such a huge play early in the game. You got to get a stop and flip field position and get your offense on the field.
Yeah, Mayor, so with 1:19 left in this quarter, you don't want them to pick this up and have the ball to start the second quarter. You'll be a quarter and a half maybe, and they've only run 3 plays.
Right.
You can't score if you don't have the ball, and I know that adage, so it's imperative that they try to get a stop here and get this ball back for the offense.
Well, I think if you're Coach Spears, this is exactly what you wanted to do. You want to have this ball control, like I said. And I would agree, Eric. We've been doing mostly independence games, and we've had 3-play, 2-play, 4-boom, just real quick offense. But it was nice to see that kind of smash and dash, old-style play for Pikeview to go 79 yards in 16 plays.
Well, I think you used the wrong analogy.
Ground and pound.
Hey, this is ground and pound. Smash and dash is that independence. With the running back staying.
All right, out of the timeout, it'll be Peyton Greer out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks to throw, seam route, and it's incomplete. That's good defense by Shady. They brought good pressure, and they'll force a 3 and out, and it'll be punt time for Pikeview.
And that was tough. Peyton Greer had a lot of heat coming up the middle at him. He stood in the pocket and delivered the ball, but the Shady Spring Tigers defense made him throw it before he was comfortable.
And Shady, if they handle the punt, should get really good field position. They'll have Mackey here to the near side. Or actually Showalter to the near side, Mackey to the far side. Or no, I had it right the first time. Mackey here to the near side as they're standing on Pikeview's side of the field as they get back right around midfield waiting on the punt here. 1:14 for the opening quarter. 6-0 is the lead for the Panthers of Pikeview. Here's the snap, and he's going to run it. Or is he going to – and it's going to be like a soccer-style kick, and it's going to take a big Pikeview bounce and go inside the 40, still rolling inside the 35. That was a huge play because it looked like Shady, Eric, might get the ball out near midfield. Now Pikeview's going to pin him back down inside the 35-yard line.
And that's tremendous. And what they call is that, I guess, that rugby
style
punt.
Yeah.
And you know the difference between you can do that in high school and college because the guys are able to release before the ball is punted. And that's why you don't really see that in the NFL because a play like that will probably get your punter
creamed.
Sent to the hospital.
Here's another thing that I also learned, that when you run out of the pocket like that, you can hit the punter. There's no roughing the punter once you do that.
Yeah,
so
he becomes a runner.
Yes. So Shady will take over. They'll have the ball on their own 32-yard line where they'll start this possession. 1st and 10. Man's out of the shotgun. Here's a running play, and it's a nice hard run that time up over the 35, and there's a late penalty flag comes in as the play actually goes to Whitaker, and he gets to the 35, and let's see what the flag's going to be.
Might be our first hold of the game.
Well, it came in after the runner was tackled to the ground, so it could have been that the flag was late, or it could have been after the play as we're waiting to see the call.
Well, they're signaling to the Pikeview, personal foul. They're going to call maybe a horse collar.
Well,
hand inside, I saw him maybe signal.
It could have been. Let's see if we can get it on the instant replay. A little general, we may not be able to. But the flag came in late, and that made me think that the penalty came after the run, which it did, a dead ball. So they'll tack 15 onto the end of the run, and Shady will have the ball out at midfield.
And that's huge to, flip field position here a little bit. Now Shady scrimmaging from the 50-yard line, and let's see what they can get going here on offense.
Will work out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Here's Pinardo on the run. He's inside Pikeview territory trying to get to the edge, and he's able to get about 3 or 4 yards, get the ball to the Pikeview 46-yard line, a gain of 4.
And then Shady is trying to establish the run, and I think they really need to do that as Pikeview did, because if you do that, that frees up the passing lanes a whole lot more.
We're under 20 seconds for the quarter. This probably will be the last play of the first quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 6 for Shady at the Pikeview 46-yard line. We're down to the final 10 seconds of the quarter. Out of the shotgun, Mans takes the snap. It's a running play. It's going to be up inside the 45. Whitaker, he's going to move the pile to the 44, maybe the 43, but that will be the final play of the first quarter. So after one quarter play here in Mercer County, your score is Pikeview 6, Shady nothing. You're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
Ready to start the second quarter. It'll be a 3rd down coming up for Shady, 3rd and 3 at the Pikeview 43. They'll work out of the shotgun with Cameron Mans waiting on the snap. Gets it. Here's the handoff to Whitaker. Whitaker trying to get to the edge, to the outside, and Pikeview is he going to turn the corner? He does. It didn't look like he was going to get to the edge, and right at the last minute, Whitaker able to turn the corner, and that should be enough for a Shady first down.
Yeah, Whitaker showed great speed. They may spot him if it's a left foot spot, just short of the first down, but we'd already discussed this is 2-down territory.
Well, you had to get to the 40, and I'm watching the near side official. He's standing on the 40, but across the way where the down marker is, they're going to mark him short. You're right. He's going to be about 6 inches short, and it'll be 4th down, and obviously Shady will go for it.
Yeah, definitely. We knew this was going to be a 2-down territory here, and like I said, sometimes it's based on if this is a left foot spot or a right foot spot, and that's a tough break for the Shady offense.
Yeah, maybe a quarterback sneak. Here's Mans will do that up under center, and they'll move the pile for a first down. The ball was just outside the 40, had to get to the 40, and he's able to cross the 40 and get to the 38 to move the pile and move the sticks for a Shady first down.
Yeah, and that was a key first down pickup, and to get this Shady offense going and maybe get down and drive. You've not ran a lot of plays if you're Shady, so you need to get an offensive rhythm going here.
Yeah, so the first drive was a 3-and-out. This will be the 6th play of this drive. 1st and 10 at the Pikeview 38. Here's a running play up inside. Not much cooking there as Pikeview does a good job to slam the door. Maybe a yard, and that's it.
And maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And right here, if you're looking, Pikeview is really, really putting their ears back to stop this run. they're going to challenge that Shady Spring offensive line tonight.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any gain. You're right. So they slammed the door, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. And at this point of the field, too, this might be time for Cameron Mance maybe to go up top and try to hit the big play with the receivers of Showalter and Mackey. Let's see what they do.
Well, here down to your near side here, Bears. It's man coverage over here.
Here's a running play to Bernardo, and that's going to go nowhere. It's going to lose yards back across the 40, back to the 41-yard line, and now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12, maybe 3rd and 13 coming up for Shady.
And, yeah, now this is probably a passing down, so you look for Pikeview to maybe try to bring some heat on Cameron Mans here, try to get him off his mark, off his spot, make him a little uncomfortable passing here.
Yeah, going to need 13 yards. You don't have to get it all on 3rd down. I'm sure they would go for it, so let's see what they do. Here comes the pressure. Here's the shotgun snap. Here's the throw to the far side. And it's almost intercepted as Mann's trying to get the ball over there on the far side. And now on the incompletion with the clock stopped, 9:40 for the half, brings up 4th and 13.
And Cameron got away. Cameron Mann's got away with an interception there. The Pikeview defender really played the ball well. And if you're Shady, I think you have to flip the field, try to pooch kick it. Try to pin them back, the Pikeview Panthers back inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I would agree. I think 13 is too much to go for it at this juncture in this stage of the game, and that's what looks like Shady's going to do is they're set up to punt. Here's the snap, and here comes the punt, and you're right. That's going to be a nice booming kick as long as it doesn't go into the end zone for Shady, and that's too big of a kick. Will Shady be able to down it? I don't think so. Nope, and it gets into the end zone, and a tough break for Shady and a good break for Pikeview, and Pikeview will now have it on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good-looking kick right there, but he outkicked his defensive his off the coverage, and trying to down it inside the 5-yard line is tough for any high school team.
So this will be the 3rd possession on offense for Pikeview. They'll have it on their own 20. The first possession, Pikeview went 16 plays, 79 yards to get the lone touchdown to take a 6-0 lead. The last possession, they were 3 and out, so this will be their 3rd chance. 1st and 10 on their own 20. Pikeview leading 6-0, 9.5 to go first half. Here comes the shotgun snap. It's going to be a running play, and it's a running play with the quarterback all the way, and Shady's in there to throw it for a loss. Back to about the forward progress is going to get him the ball, not quite back to the line of scrimmage. They'll put down the quarterback that time, Peyton Greer, about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what you want if you're Shady Spring, the defensive coordinator for Shady Spring. You need to get the down and distance in your favor defensively and get a stop here, maybe a 3 and out, and maybe scrimmage from the midfield here on offense.
So it's going to be 2nd and 11 for Pikeview. They have the ball on their own 19-yard line. Peyton Greer, 6 foot, 160-pound junior quarterback. And they're going to go empty this time. They're going to have twin receivers, actually trips to the near side, to the bottom of your screen. Here comes a Shady blitz. They're forcing him out of the pocket. The throw short. It's caught. It's going to be across the 30 and get a Pikeview first down. And that was a nice reception as that's Nathan Reif able to catch it on the near sideline and move the sticks for a Pikeview first down.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd reception for Nathan Reif this half. I guess coming into the game you have Dylan Blake. Nathan took a pretty good shot on that sideline, but made the reception and moved the chains for the Pikeview Panthers.
14-yard gain. Shady brought pressure, and a good job by Greer when they forced him out of the pocket on the run to deliver a strike, and Reif did the rest to pick up the first down on the 33-yard line. So here's Pikeview on their own 33. Greer waits on the snap, gets it. Going to be a running play, and there's Shady to blow up the play. That's a great job. That is Pinardo in there to blow that play up.
Yeah, Bryson Pinardo is around the football. He is a ball hawk, and he did a good job that time on a blitz and timed it just right and tackles the Pikeview runner for a loss.
Yeah, the loss back to the 30-yard line, so he lost 3 on the play.
Yeah.
And it's going to make it 2nd and 13. And if you're Shady, obviously this is what any defense wants to put the offense behind the chains.
Okay, look for Pikeview to maybe go empty. It looks like every time, the down and distance gets out of their favor, now they're going to keep a running back in, maybe a personal protector, but look for Dylan Blake to get a look here.
They're going to go twins to each side. Peyton Greer, the quarterback, claps his hand. Shady might have been off sides. And I'm not sure if we had movement on Pikeview that calls Shady to move. We'll have to wait and see as the officials will sort it out.
Yeah, I think the Pikeview movement was because of the Shady Spring Tigers maybe coming across the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to call a false start of the left tackle.
Well, either the tackle, also the wide receiver here, Braden Dalton. It looked like he may have moved too soon, but the penalty, as you mentioned, will cost him 5 and take the ball back to the 25-yard line. and make it second down. The spot to gain is going to be the 43, so they'll need 18 on the second down play.
Well, Shady needs to get home here. This is man coverage all the way.
Here's Greer, a seam route across the middle. It's caught, and it gets some of the penalty yardage back as they get the ball out to the 35 and make it a much more manageable third down coming up.
Yeah, and that was a reception by who? Dylan Blake. Dylan Blake is, big frame, athletic, so you need to find him. And the thing that I worry about some with this man coverage, it opens up, by Shady Spring, it opens up the middle of the field.
Well, they picked up 10 on second, so now they need 8 on third, as it'll be third down and 8, as I mentioned. They have the ball on their own 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun, once again, is Peyton Greer. Shady showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Greer's got time. Throwing on the far side, and it's going to be overthrown. Good coverage, and that's going to force a punt by Pikeview.
Well, right on cue, Shady Spring did a good job of disguising defense there. They walked Pinardo up, and it looked like the middle of the field was open, and right before the ball was snapped, he bailed out. So that was a great job by the Shady Spring defense.
Yeah, the loss on first down with the run, and then the penalty really took Pikeview out of that drive.
And that was a good defensive stand by Shady Spring. So I guess 6:34 to go in the half. They need to try to get something cooking offensively here.
So they'll have Showalter and Mackey back inside their 40-yard line awaiting on this snap. And here comes the kick, waiting from the snap and the kick from the punter. It's a big hop. He's taken on the far side across the 40, 45, cross midfield, down on the far sideline, ran out of bounds in front of the Shady Spring bench. And it will be excellent field position for the Tigers on this possession.
And that was a good job by the Shady Spring returner. I'm thinking that was Showalter.
It was either Showalter or Mackey.
Okay.
It was hard to tell.
Well, I think it might be Mackey, and he did a great job catching that on the bounce and advancing the football into Pikeview territory.
So Shady will start on the Pikeview side of the field inside the 45. Shady will have it at the Pikeview 44-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Tigers as Cameron Mans will bring them up. He'll work out of the shotgun as he has virtually almost every play. The only time he wasn't out of the shotgun is when they had fourth and about a half a yard, and he got up under center, and they ran the quarterback sneak. So here's Mans waiting on the snap. Gets the snap, sits in the pocket, throws near side, got a man. They make the connection, and it's going to be down inside the 35, ran out of bounds. That's going to be Showalter on the catch, and he gets down to the 30-yard line and a nice gain.
Yeah, Showalter coming into this game, Maris, had 14 receptions for 280 yards on the year and 4 scores. So that was a good job of Mans finding his top receiver and getting it to him and moving the chains.
That's a 14-yard pickup on first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 Shady at the Pikeview 30-yard line. We're approaching 6 minutes for the half. Shady down 6-0. This time Mans is up under center. It's going to be a running play. Straight ahead, tough yards, tough sledding, trying to run inside, and looks like they're going to pick up 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Yeah, and that was Bryson Pinardo, who's been doing it a lot on both sides of the ball, Maris. And Shady is doing a good job of mixing it up now, with run versus pass plays.
They're going to get 2 yards down to the Pikeview 28, so it's going to be second down and 8 as we approach 5.5 to go till halftime. Shady trying to get the game tied here as they trail 6-0. Mans will work up under center again, and it's going to be another running play. This is Whitaker. He's inside the 25, trying to break a tackle, and he gets down to about the 23-yard line. A nice gain there.
Yeah, and this time they went under center right there, Maris. They must have heard you. They fooled the Pikeview defense, and the inside handoff to Whitaker This should be a short third down play.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 from the 23. You're thinking that you're going to need you're going to have 2 plays to pick this up.
Yeah, definitely.
So now let's see. They won't go under center. They'll go out of the shotgun with he's got backs to each side of him, does Mans. He waits on the snap. He gets it. Here's going to be a handoff straight ahead. That's going to get the first down inside the 20, and that was a good hard run, and they're going to get the ball down to the 16-yard line, a first down for Shady.
Yeah, Bryson Pinardo again, straight up the gut. He does a good job. You can tell he plays linebacker, Maris. He just does a good job. Not flashy. He's just smashing it up, grounding, pounding it up inside the tackles.
Yeah, got a good hard 7 yards inside. So 1st and 10 at the 16. And Shady in no hurry. 4.5 to go till halftime. Pikeview leads in the game 6-0. Mans will bring him up. He'll work out of the shotgun. He'll have receivers to each side. He'll have a back to each side of him. Mans takes the snap. They're going to run the ball here. It's going to be Whitaker, and tough sledding as he gets the ball inside the 15-yard line, maybe to the 14. But that was hard running to get across the 15 to the 14.
Caleb Whitaker did a good job slipping inside. It looked like that was going to be maybe a loss of 2, and he turns it into positive yards for the Shady Spring offense.
Yeah, instead of losing 2, he gained 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 14-yard line. Clock continuing to turn. We're under 4 minutes for the half. Shady trying to tie it up. With a win tonight, Shady will punch its ticket to the postseason. And if Shady doesn't win, then their season will end here tonight. It's up under center is Mans. He takes the snap. Here's a running play. It's Whitaker as he's trying to break a tackle. Good defensive job by Pikeview as the defender really held on for dear life, didn't he?
Hey, that's what, back in the day when the coaches told you, you hold on till help comes. And he did just that and held that to a minimal gain. So Shady looks like they're, again, in 2-down territory. This probably will be 3rd and 5. It says 3rd and 7 on the board here, so on your screen. So 3rd and 7, trying to 2 plays to pick up 7 yards.
They have the ball at the 12, and they can actually probably pick it up by getting to the 6. Here's going to be another running play, and breaking it to the outside is Whitaker. This might go all the way, and it will. Touchdown.
Yeah.
There was a hole that opened up. That was a nice play, and Whitaker able to go 12 yards and tie the game. That was a 7-play, 44-yard drive as Whitaker finishes off with a 12-yard touchdown run at the 3:03 mark of the opening half, and the game is now tied at 6. And here comes a critical extra point to see if Shady can take their first lead of the ball game. But that was a very impressive drive, and what set it up, Eric, was the short field when Shady had the nice punt return that started on Pikeview's side of the field.
Yeah, now they did a good job of mixing up their play calls, Mares, and doing it. They looked like they had a better rhythm offensively.
High snap, but good hold, and the kick looks like it is good, and it is. So at 3:03 remaining here in the first half, Shady has their first lead of the game. It's now they have taken a 7-6 lead, and the difference in the game, Shady's made the extra point. Pikeview went for 2, didn't get it. And right now we've got just what we thought we'd have on top, Eric, a very competitive, tight game, and that's what we got.
Yeah, and Pikeview's defense has really, really improved. They come in giving up 42 points a game, but it's not what you did in early in the season. And right now I feel that they're playing their best football.
Well, like we said on top, it's senior night. Pikeview, they know that they're not going to the playoffs. This is really Pikeview's playoff game or / bowl game, if you will, that if they can keep Shady from going, this would really make their season.
Hey, man, exactly right. And, on senior night, you want to do it for your mom, your dad, your sister, the grandparents, and yourself, of course. But this would be a big, big win for the Pikeview program.
So with 3:03 left in the half, and Pikeview will have 2 timeouts in which to work with. Shady's up 1, 7-6. They'll kick the ball off, and Pikeview will have 3 defenders back, and they all stand about the 20. Like I said, nobody really kicks it deep anymore. Usually these squib kicks, and we'll see what Shady elects to do here as they've got it teed up between the hashes, between the numbers at the 40. Here comes the kickoff, and it's going to go to the far side. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 25, across the 30. Nice return up, not quite to the 40, but still really good field position for Pikeview to start this drive.
Yeah, good return, good coverage by the Shady Spring defense on the kick there. So, with 2:57 to go, right before half, Pikeview may try to get something going here, try to milk that clock out before halftime.
Yeah, they'll have the ball on their own 38. They have 2 timeouts in which to work with. So 2:57 and 2 timeouts for the half is plenty of time. As Peyton Greer will bring them up out of the shotgun. Got twin receivers here to the near side. Put a guy in motion. It's going to be the jet sweep. And they're trying to get the ball here around the edge, and Shady does a good job of shutting it down. And I think that was Dylan Blake, who was carrying the ball, and Shady kept it to a very short gain, a gain of only a yard.
It looks like the Shady Tigers Shady Spring Tigers have made an adjustment to that offensive set there, because they were getting gashed early on in the game, and they really adjusted and playing this run a lot better than the first quarter.
So the ball is at the 39-yard line, and we're under 2.5 to go in the first half. Pikeview does have 2 timeouts, as I mentioned, in which to work with. 2nd and 9. Peyton Greer will work out of the shotgun. Got twin receivers now they're going to put the receiver in motion. Here's the snap to Peyton Greer in the pocket. Pressure comes. They flush him out. He comes to the near side. He's able to tuck it up and run and get out of bounds. And Shady lost containment on the near side, and Peyton Greer able to get the ball across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, pretty athletic move by Peyton Greer there to elude the rush and pick up some positive yards on that play.
Yeah, they'll put him down at the 43, so he got 4 yards on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, and very important, too, he went out of bounds to stop the clock.
Yeah, and that'll keep a timeout in their pocket there. So let's see what they draw up here, because I don't know, if you don't pick this up, you definitely will have to punt it back to the Shady Spring.
So once again, they put the man in motion. Here's the snap to throw. Down the seam, got a man, it's caught. First down, inside the 40 and more, breaking a tackle, and he stumbles inside the 30. That's a great play by Dylan Blake, and for a minute I thought he was going to break it and take it all the way.
Yeah, Dylan Blake eluded the tacklers, kind of stumbled, lost his footing. If not, he was going to go the distance for Pikeview.
They'll put him down inside the 30 at the Shady 28-yard line. And that's a huge gain for Pikeview, and there's a timeout. But, you take that ball on a 3rd and 5, and once again, a great route ran by the 6'3", 175-pound senior Dylan Blake, and a well-thrown ball, too, by Peyton Greer. In fact, I've been very impressed with the Pikeview quarterback and receiver.
Yeah, quarterback is very poised. He doesn't seem to get rattled. And, Dylan Blake, this combo has been on fire the last 2 games. They've accounted for almost 400 yards passing and 8 touchdowns.
And I look at this Pikeview team, and they came in only 2-6, but they definitely have played much better than what that 2-6 record would show.
Yeah, definitely. Early on, they got, they had the COVID issue as a little rain. I think it may be raining just
Well, I thought for a minute there that the roof was leaking because I kept feeling rain. I thought I was melting a little bit, Eric, and I looked up, and we actually do have an actual, not really a hole, but we have a ladder where the coaches are upstairs, and I can feel the rain coming down.
Yeah, and then getting back to talking about Dylan Blake, I mean, the guy, he didn't play a lot of games early in the season, and he's standing on the year at 514 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns coming into this game.
So at the 28 of Shady, it's a 1st down and 10 as we got a little bit of rain coming now. Here's the snap. There's going to be a running play, and it's going to be Barnes. He's off to the far side. He's got some room. He spun around. He's got a 1st down, and he's going to get the ball down to the 15-yard line. A nice gain.
Yeah, Million Barnes, he does a good job. He's a load. Once he gets running downhill, he's a tough tackle for this Shady Spring defense. And now the Pikeview offense is cooking.
So they're going to put him down at the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st down for the Pikeview Panthers. Clock turning, 1:35 and counting. Peyton Greer waiting on the snap, puts a man in motion, takes the snap, looks to throw, fade pass to the far side of the end zone, and nice defensive play. It's broken up. Great defensive job over there on the far side by the Shady defender.
Yeah, I think if I'm Pikeview, Shady may have got away with a little interference there, but once again, I'm not a ref. If I'm Pikeview, though, anytime there's man coverage like that on the outside on Dylan Blake, I'm taking my chances and throwing that. I may run the same play with that same defensive formation.
Well, the one thing I thought was good that they ran it on 1st down, to try to do that on 1st down.
Correct. I know you want to pick up a 1st down here, but this Peyton Greer seems like he's a very poised, once again, I'm going to say very poised quarterback. And if you see that man coverage on the outside, and right here you can look on your screen, if the safety, there's no safety.
There's nothing in the middle.
There's nothing in the middle. This is man coverage right here.
So here comes the pass play. They're trying to run a slant, and the ball's going to be short and incomplete, and there's going to be a flag.
Yeah.
The referee, and even though the flag's coming in late, he was trying to pull the flag out of his pocket, but he couldn't get it out of his pocket.
I think his hands were a little too cold to feel the flag, but that's the correct call. I think the Shady defender was there a tad early, and that's what happens when you're inside the 20 or yard line, and you're going man. It's real antsy for the cornerbacks and the safeties. They tend to not trust their skills, and he got there a tad early.
And it'll be a 1st down on the penalty. It's pass interference, so the ball is going to go, looks like maybe half the distance. They're going to put the ball down at the 8-yard line. So it'll be at the 8-yard line, a 1st and goal for Pikeview.
No, I think that's just 2nd down.
Well, it's a moot point because I did see the official go first down. The board might have had it second, but it doesn't matter now because it's going to be an 8-yard touchdown run from Barnes, and Pikeview caps off a 7-play, 62-yard drive with Barnes going right up the middle, and Pikeview has regained the lead 12-7 with 1:19 left here in the first half. So they'll definitely go for 2 as they went for 2 the first time, and this is such a critical play right here as they set up to go for 2 out of the shotgun. Peyton Greer gets the snap. It's going to be an option play. He comes near side. Now he's going to throw the ball, and good defense by Shady. It was a pass option, and the 2-point conversion fails, but Pikeview, once again, another long drive, a 62-yard drive in 7 plays. They get an 8-yard run by Barnes, and your new score with 1:19 remaining in the first half is now Pikeview 12 and Shady 7. So we got quite a game here, Eric.
And we knew this was going to be a competitive game at coming in because Pikeview senior night, it had all the ingredients for a tough, rough and tumble game. You knew they were not going to lay down, and these kids are playing that. And no matter what their record, these kids come to the game. They're going to play hard, and short-term memory. You know, they remember winning their last 2 games, so they're going to try to end the season on a 4-game win streak here if they can upset Shady and then take it up to Nicholas County Friday.
And, you know, as far as Shady, you always know that the toughest game is the one you need to win to get into the playoffs. Not necessarily when you get there, but always the toughest one to get there.
Yeah, and this is a playoff game. Like you said, this is an elimination game. If they win, they're sure in. And if they lose, they have to hope someone ahead of them, 2 people ahead of them lose.
Well, you know, that's a good point because if they lose, I'm not sure. They still might be able to get in. I'm not sure. And here comes an onside kick, and Pikeview might be able to get it as Shady muffed it, but the ball went out of bounds, and Shady very fortunate that they're going to be able to keep possession of the ball.
And this is one thing, too, when you play a team such as Pikeview. They don't have anything to lose, Maris. They're going to pull out all the stops, as you can see on the onside kick, and Degnier got that ball. The ball took the bounce, hit the Shady defender in the helmet, and Pikeview was almost there to recover it.
But with all that said, Shady's got excellent field position, and they have got 2 timeouts with 1:17 left in the half, and they have the ball on their own 48-yard line. So they could easily go down the field and score themselves and regain the lead, as I'm sure they're going to throw it as they've got trips to the far side, one single receiver to the near side. Mans works out of the gun, takes the snap. They're actually going to run it, spread them out. Nice run by Whitaker as he's down to the 40-yard line. A huge run. That'll stop the clock momentarily to set the chains.
Yeah, and look, Shady's in their 2-minute offense, and they probably had a couple plays called, and they're up, ready to go. With 1:10 to go, plenty of time and timeouts to score here.
Here's the snap. Man's in trouble. He needs to throw it away. He runs out of the pocket, and he's got a receiver, and it's caught, and that is Davis. And that's a nice play, as Davis is able not only to make the catch and a first down, but to get out of bounds to stop the clock.
And that was a super play by the quarterback, Cameron Mans. Rolling to your left, Maris. That is the hardest ball to complete. Rolling to your left as a right-handed quarterback and throwing across your body and making that completion. He threw a dart.
And Davis able to haul it in. That's a 15-yard connection. That'll stop the clock as he went out of bounds. That's a nice catch at that time by Gavin Davis. Here is Mans to throw. Far side into coverage, going to be intercepted. Back the other way is Pikeview. And they're going to cross the 40, down the far sideline, and ran out of bounds. And that is going to end the Shady threat of the first half. And with 49 seconds still left in the half, it puts Pikeview still in position to maybe score more.
Yeah, and look for Pikeview with that athletic Dylan Blake to really put this up in the air and try to put some pressure on the Shady defense. So if you're Shady, you don't need any pass interferences. You need to probably try to turn the ball over here yourself, but you definitely don't want to give up another score before halftime.
And another thing, too, there's 49 seconds left, and it's starting to rain. I wonder if you think that will affect how aggressive Pikeview might be here, if they're going to maybe run out the clock or if they're going to try to throw the ball down the field. We'll see on first down. Here's the snap. They're going to throw it. Greer set. Peyton Greer, they flush him out of the pocket. He comes to the near side. He's probably going to tuck it up and run. He's going to get to the boundary and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
And that was another smart play, another cerebral play by Peyton Greer. And I'm very impressed with this quarterback. He does all the right things, and they have a good quarterback here at Pikeview.
That's a 6-yard gain to the 45, and like I said, by getting out of bounds, it stops the clock with 41 seconds left in the first half. And A 12-7 Pikeview lead as we've had our first turnover, a cameraman's pick. Here is Peyton Greer in the pocket, throwing deep down. He's got a man open. It's caught. It's going to be Blake. Dylan Blake, the 10, the 5. He's in for a touchdown. And, wow, what a change of events. Is Pikeview able to go 61 yards in just 2 plays? That's a 55-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Greer to Dylan Blake. And, boy, that's a major blow to Shady. And now Pikeview's extended the lead to 18-7 as they'll line up and go for 2.
Yeah, that was an excellent play call. As Dylan Blake, they're going with that man coverage. That time I think they might have been a little bit of cover 2. They had safety help, but it was just a good pitch and catch by Peyton Greer to Dylan Blake, and he was able to get behind the defenders and haul that one in.
So they line up to go for 2. So 5 possessions in the first half for Pikeview has resulted in 3 touchdowns on that 55-yard play. Here is Peyton Greer. Takes the shotgun snap, throws across the middle. It's caught for the 2-point conversion. So Pikeview adds 2 more as once again that's Dylan Blake hauling in the 2-point conversion. And your new score with 31 seconds left in the half is now Pikeview leading Shady 20-7. What a turn of events as Shady was perhaps on their way, Eric, to perhaps a half-ending touchdown that would give them the lead. They turn it over, and in 2 plays, Pikeview's in the end zone, and in 3 plays, have 8 points, the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
And in any game, when you turn it over, Marison, you give up points off a turnover. That's an extra possession for the Pikeview offense, and they really cashed it in, and they're putting the Shady Spring Tigers in a tough situation here rolling into the second half.
Well, if you're Shady, you've got to be thinking, all right, 31 seconds is not much to work with. You're probably going to, unless you get a big kickoff return, you're probably just going to go in the half down 2 scores. But to get back in the game, you're down 2 touchdowns. You got to score 1 before you can score 2.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Shady's going to have some soul searching to do here in this second half because Pikeview had that long drive. And I said that first drive, I think, really set the tone of the first half. That 16-play, 79-yard drive that went for a Pikeview touchdown.
Yeah, and you're correct. And the way they drove the ball, Mayor, set the tone of the game. They just ran right at him and with the squib kick here.
And Shady is on it. Yes, they're going to get the ball near midfield, but they had it on their 48 on the last possession, and they threw a pick. And Shady will start this drive on their own 49 with just 29 seconds left in the half.
So you want to be careful here. If you want to try to move the ball, but look for something safe. You need to throw any kind of pass toward the boundaries. You don't want anything in the middle of the field and turn the ball over again here.
But you can use the middle field because you do have 2 timeouts. So we'll see what Shady elects to do. It's going to be a jet sweep. Nice gain here. That is Mackey, and he's going to get out of bounds, stop the clock. Or is Mackey? Yes.
Yeah, it was Tyler Mackey, and that's considered a pass there.
Right.
That's considered a pass, and West Virginia made that famous when they had Tavon Austin, and Geno Smith running that play. That was a good play call there. And move the sticks.
Yeah, he
ran out of bounds before.
Yeah, he ran out of bounds to the 42. Second, real short. Mans takes the shotgun snap. Got time. Now they flush him out of the pocket. He's in trouble. Steps up in the pocket. He's on the move. He's going to run. He can pick up the first down, and he's going to run out of bounds. That's a smart play with 12 seconds left in the half. Number 1, get your first down, and then 2, get out of bounds.
And you see Pikeview, I think they're doing a good job on the back end. The safety is not letting anyone deep as deep as him, and they're going to make him throw it underneath or scramble for it, to get out of bounds.
And if they throw it underneath, that's where you got to be sure of a tackler because if you don't make the play, they can break it loose for a touchdown. But we got a little bit light rain coming. They have the ball, does Shady, at the Pikeview 35, first down. More importantly, it's the time than the down. Mans takes the snap, sits in the pocket. He's going to throw short. He's got high. He had a man open. And
that was Jacob Sherwald.
Yep. And the ball just sailed on Cameron Mans high and out of bounds.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look. This field may have a slight crown to it. But that time, that's a pass that Cameron has to complete.
Right. You got to hit that one.
You got a guy wide open, and you have to make that completion.
And, Eric, I would think with 7 seconds, I think your best bet is the Hail Mary to the end zone.
Yeah, something to the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean, they have probably Dylan Blake. I don't see who's back.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go 10 out and maybe get out of bounds. I think you want to throw the home run ball. Let's see what they do. Here comes pressure. Mans is in trouble. As he rolls out, he's going to throw short. It's going to be caught.
No,
it's not. But there's still 1 second left on the clock, and that'll give Shady one more play. as you're right, it is incomplete. So they have the ball at the 35. Now I think you just need to line up your receivers and throw the ball up in the end zone as we have a light rain continuing to fall here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think here you're just probably going to
I think
chuck it to the end zone.
Yeah.
Chuck it to the end zone and get into halftime and regroup here.
Got to get protection to be able to give Cameron Mans time to throw the ball. He has the ball at the Pikeview 35. Final play of the half, unless we have a defensive penalty. There's the ball right down the middle of the field. It's going to be intercepted. That's the second interception, and that's how the half will end. So Shady turned it over on the last two drives of the half, and Pikeview has the momentum. As coming down with that interception that time is Braden Dalton. So at the break, your score is Pikeview 20 and Shady 7. We'll take our second quarter break as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Dante Stills? Doug Nestor? You guys show up here?
Yeah, man, all the time. Wait, Doug, I got you on this.
All right, I'll get you next time.
We welcome you back to Pikeview High School here in Mercer County, and at the break, it is Pikeview in front of Shady by the score of 20-7. And really, I thought that Pikeview really set the tone by that opening drive, as Pikeview was able to go 79 yards in 16 plays and take a 6-0 lead on a 1-yard run by Peyton Greer. The 2-point conversion was no good. It was 6-0 at that point in favor of Pikeview. Then Shady was able to come back and get their first lead of the game as the Shady Spring Tigers, they went 44 yards in 7 plays, and they were able to get a 12-yard run by Caleb Whitaker, and the PAT, the kick was good, and at that point it was a 1-point Shady lead at 7-6. But then Pikeview scored the next 2 touchdowns, and that's where we are, 20-7. The other 2 drives for Pikeview was a 7-play 62-yard drive, and it was Barnes with a 10-yard run. The PAT was no good. That made it 12-7. And then right before the half, a 2-play 61-yard drive, and it was a touchdown pass from Greer to Blake that covered 55 yards. The 2-point conversion good, and there's where we are at the break by the score of 20-7. So Shady's got some soul searching to do and got some adjustments to make, and they're in their locker room. We're going to have them take our first halftime break. When we come back, Eric will have team and individual totals for you as you are watching live streaming coverage of exciting high school football here on Video Productions.
Jack, did you see those new windows and doors the homeowner put on their home?
Yeah, and this new door they set us next to is sweet as pumpkin pie.
It's made in America. Quality made and efficient, too.
There's no time like now to buy new windows, siding, and doors from Window World of Beckley.
Choose from many door styles, siding colors, and window glass and grid options. We'll help you design your perfect home.
Call Window World of Beckley for your new window, siding, and door estimates.
If you're looking to sell your vehicle, Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot. Whether you're still making payments or have a clear title, we'll turn your car into cash today at Auto Buyers of West Virginia. So come see us at Cranberry Creek Shopping Center off Eisenhower Drive in Beckley. Auto Buyers of West Virginia, the simple, safe, and secure way to sell your vehicle.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications, or strings, or hassles. It can be that way again. pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
My name is Hank, and I'm coming clean. Everyone I know thinks I know something about plumbing. Oh, I look the part. I talk the talk. I have all the tools, snake, pipe wrenches, torches, but I can't fix anything. I can't even flush a toilet. What they don't know is I've been calling Modley's Plumbing and Heating. They're fully licensed and insured. I just simply call 304-253-HELP, and here they come down the road to fix the problem. It just feels so good to get rid of the guilt.
At Pioneer Community Bank, your banking needs are our priority. Looking to buy a home, a vehicle, or just need a personal loan for that special project? Our loan professionals are here for you. We also offer all business banking products, which allows us to serve all your financial needs. Set up your online banking at pioneercommunitybank.com and download the mobile app for your convenience and ask about our personal and business products today. Pioneer Community Bank, investing in Southern West Virginia since 1931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview High School. I'm Maris Lowry with Eric Thomas, Chris Farish on stats, Andrew Bolin is producing and directing, and our main man, the man that does the heavy lifting, Mr. Nick Eskins. He is our main man. He's on camera. And at the break, as you can see the Shady Spring Marching Band performing, and you can see there on your screen, Pikeview is in the lead at 20-7. And Eric, you have team and individual totals of the first half.
Okay, Maris, for the Shady Spring, had 94 total yards of offense in the first half, 59 via the ground and 35 in the air, and they really struggled in their passing game. Cameron Mans is 3 of 10 for 35 yards and 2 interceptions on the night in the first half, and Whitaker is leading them in rushing. He has 9 carries for 39 yards and a score. On the flip side, Barnes has 53 yards rushing for Pikeview. They finished with 84 yards on the ground, 167 total yards in offense. And through the air, Peyton Greer has been terrific. He's 6 of 9 for 133 yards and a score. And Dylan Blake has 4 receptions, 104 yards, and score as well.
You know, in that first half, each team had 5 possessions. For Shady, they had 2 punts, a touchdown, and then 2 interceptions to close the half for Pikeview. And I think the opening drive really set the tone. That 16-play, 79-yard drive, 13 of those 16 plays were on the ground. But Pikeview had a touchdown, a couple of punts, and then finished the half with a couple of more touchdowns.
And you're right. I think Pikeview did exactly what the coach probably wanted to do, establish that run as we touched upon in the pregame. You know, if you're a passing team, most teams will say, hey, you're just going to lay back and chuck it. I think it was critical that they established the run as they did in that first quarter, and it really opened up the passing lanes because Shady would have to put an extra man in the box. There was nobody in the middle of the field, as you saw on a couple of plays, and Shady's going to have to make some adjustments, to that in this second half. As
you can see on your screen and hear the Shady Marching Band out performing at halftime, you can also see the score on your screen. And I think if you're just joining us, a lot of people may be surprised, Eric, first of all, if you've just turned on video productions for this game, where have you been? And second of all, you might be a little surprised to see that here you have Pikeview 2-6, leading 6-3 Shady 20-7 at halftime.
And you're right, Bears. That, and that's why games are not won on paper. On paper, coming in, I would view this probably as a mismatch, because if you look at Pikeview came in this game averaging 17 points a game. They're at 20. They given up 42 points a game. They've given up 7. And on the flip side, Shady came in averaging 20 points a game. They scored 7. And they were giving up 23, and they've already given up 20. So it's not looking good statistically for Shady, but that's why a game is 2 halves.
That's right. I always say, and you're right, Eric, that's why you play 4 quarters, 2 halves. And we're going to take our second halftime break. When we come back, our halftime will roll on here from Mercer County at Pikeview as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Your first set of wheels didn't come with complications or strings or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way,
tell them Hug sent you.
That's right. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us, New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us, New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview High School. At the break, as you can see on your screen, Pikeview right now with an upset leading Shady 20-7. At this moment, I want to take the opportunity to thank the fine folks from Giovanni's Pizza. Mamma Mia, delicious food. As whenever we're doing a Liberty game down in Glendaniel, we make it always, that's where we have our pregame meal. Delicious pizza, delicious subs, and also they have a location when we're going to an Independence game as well out at Leicester Square in Sophia. The fine folks of Giovanni's Pizza. And Eric, it is really some good eating and actually some good vittles, Italian vittles. Mamma mia, how about that?
Great pizza.
Well, at the break, let me put your coaching cap on for a minute, and I know we are still a few minutes away before we get to the Beckley Automall keys to the second half, but not necessarily keys. If you're head coach Vince Colacerto, you're down 20-7, you never want to put it in the hands of this team has to lose or that team has to lose. You know if you win, you're in the playoffs. So you've got 12 minutes per quarter, 24-minute half. And Shady's got to be a desperate team, but also they've got to be a confined team and stick to their guns, and they're 2 scores down. What do you think that Coach Colacerto is telling these kids
Coach
right now?
Vince Colacerto, there's not a lot of scenarios he hasn't seen. I mean, he's been coaching for a lot of years. I think he's just in there trying to get his team refocused. I mean, it's 2 halves. You're only down a couple of scores. They have to figure out a way to hone in, to be able to get pressure on Peyton Greer without adding an extra person in the box. And you need some help in that passing game from your linebackers. Right now, they need their front 4 to try to get heat on them without adding, Bryson Pinardo in, to try to blitz and do that. And I think that's one thing that can turn this game around.
As we look at the double A pairings and, pairings as of now. Of course, there's a lot of football to be played this weekend on the final weekend of the regular season that will actually accumulate with the final pairings. But a team like Bluefield, like you had mentioned earlier in the broadcast, where Mercer County had been hit with COVID, and it really hurt Pikeview, Princeton, and Bluefield, and now they've been able to get back into the action. But especially Bluefield, right now Bluefield on the outside looking in at 17. They have Mingo Central. If they win that game at Mitchell Stadium Friday night, that'll put them 5-3. I don't know how high they can get, but if you're one of the elite teams, Herbert Hoover, Independence, Point Pleasant, Polka, whoever you may be, Bluefield's probably not the team you want to see right off the bat.
Well, just based on their name alone, Bluefield, I mean, rich history of football. We have a chance to know a few of their coaches and really talk to them a lot at the state basketball tournament. And that's not a team, I don't care who you are, Independence, Polka, Herbert Hoover, that's not a team at 16 that you want come calling to your house. You don't want them coming to your house.
Well, you and I watched back on the 14th of August, you and I watched the scrimmage with Bluefield at Independence, and we saw how talented Bluefield is. And, of course, Independence, we know they've got a great team. So does Herbert Hoover, so does all these teams. But, eventually you might have to play them, but you don't want to have to play them. You want to put off playing them as far as you can, and hopefully you don't have to play them, but you definitely don't want to see them to have a great year, finish 1, 2, or 3, then have to see them like right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I know you have to line up and play anybody and everybody, but that is just not a team. It's not a favorable matchup. I don't care who you are. They have a lot of athletes, and they're well coached, and they will be prepared for any scenario. So that's one of those things that's going to be intriguing to watch. Sunday, you and I will probably be together watching NFL football, and we can't wait till these pairings come out to see what we have.
Well, with that said, we'll take our final halftime break, and we'll come back. And on the flip side of this break, Eric will give you his Beckley Auto Mall keys to the second half. As you can see there on your screen at the break, Shady behind as Pikeview leads 20-7 as you're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Did you see those new windows and doors the homeowner put on their home?
Yeah, and this new door they set us next to is sweet as pumpkin pie.
It's made in America, quality made and efficient too.
There's no time like now to buy new windows, siding, and doors from Window World of Beckley.
Choose from many door styles, siding colors, and window glass and grid options. We'll help you design your perfect home.
Call Window World of Beckley for your new window, siding, and door estimates.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
Motley's Plumbing and Heating of Beckley, West Virginia is now hiring journeyman or master plumbers. You must have a West Virginia plumbing license and a valid driver's license. All interested parties may apply at Motley's Plumbing and Heating at 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Or interested applicants can call 304-253-HELP. Once again, you may apply in person at Motley's Plumbing and Heating, 101 First Street, Beckley, West Virginia. Motley's Plumbing and Heating is an equal opportunity employer.
At Pioneer Pioneer Community Bank, your banking needs are our priority. Looking to buy a home, a vehicle, or just need a personal loan for that special project? Our loan professionals are here for you. We also offer all business banking products, which allows us to serve all your financial needs. Set up your online banking at pioneercommunitybank.com and download the mobile app for your convenience and ask about our personal and business products today. Pioneer Community Bank, investing in Southern West Virginia since 1931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we welcome you back to Mercer County here at Pikeview High School with Eric Thomas. I'm Maris Lowry. Andrew Bolin is producing and directing the game, and Nick Eskins is on camera. And, of course, the outstanding Chris Farish helping us look smarter, Eric, with stats. But we're about a minute and a half away from starting the second half. It is a 20-7 lead. Pikeview is in front. So, Eric, the Beckley Auto Mall keys to the second half. And Beckley Auto Mall, go see Rick Lewis, Chuck Bentley, Mike Earhart, or John Fornash. They'll put you in the vehicle that best fits your wallet. And also, if you think that they might be low on inventory, I'm sure they can find you what you're looking for and get you that vehicle. So, Eric, first of all, we're going to put you in the visitors' locker room. If you're Shady, you're down 20-7. You know you need this game to qualify for the postseason. What is your Beckley Auto Mall keys to the second half?
Well, you stated earlier you can't score all the points in one possession, but I really think it's imperative for Shady to score on this opening possession of the second half. And if not, they need to drive it deep in Pikeview territory, and try to flip the field and put your defense back out there and try to get a 3-and-out. And on the flip side, if you're Pikeview, I think if you can get a stop on this first possession, look for them to go back to that run. I would use the pass when needed in certain situations, but I would try to continue that run success and run this clock in the second half.
And speaking of running the clock, they're running a little more time on the clock. We thought we were about 30 or 40 seconds away from the second half kickoff, but they've put another 2.5 minutes up. So while we've got a little extra time, Eric, as we are approaching the postseason, it will start the weekend of November 12th and 13th. It takes 4 rounds. And, of course, the first round, as I mentioned, the 12th and 13th. And the second round would be the Friday and Saturday prior to Thanksgiving. And then the semifinal round would be the Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then, of course, the championship round up at Wheeling Island Stadium, the Super 6. The AA championship game would be Friday night, December 3rd. AAA will be Saturday afternoon. And then to put a bow and wrap things up on the football season, the Single A championship would be at 7 o'clock on December 3rd. And, of course, like every year, you have your favorites. But I think it's different this year and maybe over the last couple of years because of COVID. I want to get your take on this because, yes, you have your favorites, but I don't know that you have a clear favorite. Like in AAA, Martinsburg has been the dominant team. Spring Valley was able to beat them last week. I'm not saying Martinsburg can't win it, but I don't feel that they're as dominant as a big a favorite and maybe not be the favorite in AAA.
Yeah, exactly, because I've had a chance to watch a couple of games on video productions. Huntington, I mean, they don't get a lot of talk because they don't score. They score points, but they're mostly a defensive team. But what have we talked about? I would put Huntington up there with anyone because they play defense. They're well coached and they play defense. Of course, you have your usual suspects with Martinsburg, Spring Valley, and Cabell Midland.
Yes.
So you're looking at four big schools that will vie for that state championship there.
And in AA, of course, Herbert Hoover is going to be number 1. But Herbert Hoover, and we talked about, we know how good Independence is. You've got Point Pleasant, you've got Polka. And as we talked about, Bluefield on the back end, even though regardless of where a Bluefield finishes, I think this year's edition is a team that you can say, hey, that wouldn't really be an upset if they make it to Wheeling.
Yeah, and that's one of the teams. And you said 2 that are outside the top 5. I think, Point Pleasant may be around the top 5.
They're 4 or 5,
I think
somewhere
they're
in
4
there.
or 5. But Point Pleasant's always good. The Big Blacks. We had a chance to see them, back in the day when you covered
a few years
Beckley.
ago. Right,
Yeah, they always have a formidable team. But you're looking at Bluefield. You say a lot of people come up to me where we broadcast a lot of Independence games. Yes. Everyone, they have the team that can compete for the state championship this year.
And then Class Single A, of course, Wheeling Central's a little further back, but Wheeling Central in previous years have had 3 or 4 losses and still able to run the table and win it. So as long as Wheeling, if they're in it, they have a chance to win it.
Well, based on their schedule, because Wheeling Central is the type of team, if we would go look through their schedule, which I haven't had a chance to look, I guarantee you that they play AA, maybe a AAA school, because that program is that
that good.
Much forward and
yes.
good, yeah.
And you also have Cameron, you have Williamstown. So really, you do have your favorites, but there are other teams that have a chance to win the single A title. But now we're ready to start the second half, and Shady will get the ball. They'll work right to left on your screen. And, Eric, one of your Beckley Automall keys to the second half, it's imperative for Shady to put a nice drive together and score on this first possession.
Yeah, and definitely we already know they're losing the turnover battle. They cannot afford not a turnover in the second half here.
Well, they've got their back line up across the 35, so they're not anticipating on a kick. But if you think Pikeview, when you look at, you got Mackey and you got Showalter up around the 35, if you were to kick it over their head, you could really pin Shady further back inside the 20, or really make it difficult for Shady to go back and recover the ball.
And with that little miss, which we didn't expect much more rain, but that little miss has put a little gloss, a little
Here comes a kick, and I think they onside it, and they did, but it didn't go 10 yards. So Shady's going to start an excellent field position. A flag comes out because you can't touch the ball before it goes 10 yards, and that's what Pikeview did. And that looked like a design onside kick, so they picked the flag up, and look where Shady's going to start this drive inside the 45-yard line of Pikeview.
Yeah, and that's just what the doctor ordered right now for the Shady Spring offense. And with, first possession of the second half and needing a score quick, this is great field position, and let's see what they draw up here.
Yeah, the only other time that Shady started at the 44 Pikeview, it resulted in a touchdown. Their lone touchdown drive was 7 plays, 44 yards. They'll start at the Pikeview 44, so a big break for Shady to start the second half. 1st and 10 at the Pikeview 44-yard line. Shady will work out of the shotgun with Cameron Mans. He gets the snap. It's going to be a running play. Whitaker trying to fight for some yardage to get off to the far side, and Pikeview does a good job in a very minimal gain. If he got anything, maybe a yard, that's it.
Yeah, and Pikeview's up to the task on the run, but if you're Shady Spring, your playbook, your whole playbook is open, so you don't have to come out, just running and gunning. So they're trying to establish the run, and that's a good job of Pikeview to stuff the run play that time.
Yeah, that'll go for no gain. 2nd and 10 for Shady. You don't want to squander this great field position. Mans will work up under center. It's a handoff. It's going to be Whitaker. He breaks it to the outside, cuts it back up inside. He's down inside the 40, and that's a really good gain on 2nd down, make it a very manageable 3rd down situation.
Yeah, and Whitaker does a good job of getting what the defense gives him. He runs with speed and power. Good-looking running back there.
So they're going to put him down at the 37-yard line. He got 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3, definitely 2 downs for Shady to pick up these 3 yards. And now it'll be Cameron Mans up under center on 3rd and 3. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be Whitaker. He's going to have he's very close to first down. I think he's going to have it. The side judge is coming in to mark him inside the 35, and that should be enough for a Shady first down.
Yeah, good job, good possession. As you can see, they're trying to man up and win this line of scrimmage, the Shady Tigers are, and try to put this Pikeview defense on its heels.
So after getting no gain on first down, Shady able to recover and move the chains and get a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 Shady at the Pikeview Panther 34-yard line. If you're just joining us, you can see the score on your screen. Shady down 20-7. This is the first possession of the second half. Out of the gun, Mans. It'll be a screen pass near side. It's caught. And coming to the near side, and they run him out of bounds. The ball is fumbled, but it's fumbled out of bounds, a short gain, and that is Whitaker hauling that pass in. As I mentioned, ran out of bounds here on the near sideline.
Yeah, I like this Shady Spring attack. They're trying to utilize Whitaker a lot. He's a game breaker. If he can get out and get into space, and like I said, he runs with speed and power, but Pikeview did a good job to shut that down. I thought that play was going to go for a lot more yards than it did.
Yeah, it only went for 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. For Shady at the 32-yard line. They'll go twin receivers to each side. Cameron Mans works out of the gun. They'll put Davis in motion. Here's the snap to Mans. Sets in the pocket, throws, and he had a man out there, and you got to make that connection, and they don't, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, a little heat that time on Mans. Pikeview did a little pass blitz there. Mans had to get rid of it maybe sooner than he wanted to, but as you said, the receiver was open, and that's one you need to complete.
Yeah, whenever you got a guy that just ran down and open, you've got to make that connection, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Shady. They have the ball at the Pikeview 32. They run twin receivers to each side, top and bottom of your screen. Here's the shotgun snap to Cameron Mans. Pressure comes, throws up underneath. It was a little behind the receiver, but yet catchable ball with Showalter. Even though it was behind him, Eric, I think you'd agree he probably should have caught it.
Yeah, it was a little behind him, but most coaches say if it hits in your hands, you're a receiver. You need to catch the ball, tap behind him, and he had room to run there, so that was a tough incompletion. Let's see if they can rebound on this next play.
Yeah, and this is a big play. It's 4th down, and they've got to get 8 yards. The spot to make will be the 24-yard line. So this is a big play in this opening drive. 4th and 8 for Shady. With 10:02 left third quarter and Shady down 2 scores. Trips to the far side. Shotgun snap to Mans. Pressure comes. They force him out of the pocket. He's on the move, throwing the ball deep down the sideline, and it is caught. I was screened out by the Pikeview defender. I thought it was going to be intercepted, and a great catch to keep this drive alive, and it's going to be 1st and goal down at the 10-yard line. I couldn't quite see. Maybe if we can get this on the little general replay to see who was able to haul that in.
Yeah, and it was great. And you were screened out by the defensive player because he was set up to intercept this ball, and that was Nathan Rife, who for Pikeview that missed the interception, and I still was not able to see the Shady wide receiver that make that big catch. I'm sorry about that, viewers.
So 1st and goal at the 10. Here's a running play. Comes to the near side. Breaking tackles. That's Pinardo. He's down inside the 5, and he was fighting for that goal line. He's going to come up a little short of the goal line, but yet a very good gain down to the 2 on 1st down.
Yeah, and look, and what a difference a big play makes. And you can see the offensive line for Shady. They're ready. And look for them to maybe give it that to Bryson again, Bryson Pinardo, and see if he can punch it in the end zone here. 2nd
and goal from the 2. This is the opening possession of the second half. Shady down 20-7, trying to get back in it. The work out of the gun with Mans. Takes the snap. As you're right, Eric, Pinardo gets the call, and he's able to waltz right into the end zone for a Shady touchdown. That was a 9-play, 44-yard drive. And just as you mentioned in your Beckley Auto Mall keys to the second half, very imperative for Shady to score that opening possession, and they did just that. And actually, they took advantage of the excellent field position, and they have trimmed the lead to 20-13 with 9:01 left in the third quarter as they set to kick the extra point. And this is such a big extra point attempt right here. Waiting for the snap. The hold is down. The kick is up, and it is no good. So that's a big miss. At the 9:01 mark of the third quarter, your new score is Pikeview 20, Shady 13. You're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Production.
Looking to sell your vehicle? Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot. Whether you're still making payments or have a clear title, we'll turn your car into cash today at Auto Buyers of West Virginia. So come see us at Cranberry Creek Shopping Center off Eisenhower Drive in Beckley. Auto Buyers of West Virginia, the simple, safe, and secure way to sell your vehicle.
At Pioneer Community Bank, your banking needs are our priority. Looking to buy a home, a vehicle, or just need a personal loan for that special project? Our loan professionals are here for you. We also offer all business banking products, which allows us to serve all your financial needs. Set up your online banking at pioneercommunitybank.com and download the mobile app for your convenience and ask about our personal and business products today. Pioneer Community Bank, investing in Southern West Virginia since 1931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shady now is teeing the ball up as they will kick off here on the near side hash. But, Eric, if you're Shady, and you mentioned it, able to score on their first possession to gain a little momentum. They do miss the extra point, but they're within 7 now, 20-13. Now the offense did their part. Now we'll see if the defense can do theirs.
Yeah, and the defense really needs to try to figure out a way, as I stated, to get some pressure on Peyton Greer.
Here comes the kickoff, and this is a pretty good kick. It's going to bounce inside the 20, picked up at the 15, coming to the near side 20, now reversing the field back on the far side, and a nice big hit over there by Shady, and that was Dylan Blake on the return, and he's going to get maybe across the 25. Let's see where they put him down on the far side, but that was excellent coverage by the Shady kickoff team.
Yeah, and they did a good job of kicking it deep finally and pinning this Pikeview offense back a little deeper and make them have to drive the length of the field, which we saw in that first quarter. They're more than capable of stringing together a long scoring drive.
They're going to put him down at the 27-yard line, so that's where Pikeview will start their first drive of the second half as it'll be Peyton Greer, the quarterback, working out of the gun, takes the snap. Here's a running play. Looks like Barnes going off the left side. The ball's out. It's a fumble. Shady says they have it, and they do. And now Shady with a golden opportunity as they had the ball. Their first possession did Shady. It was a 9-play drive, and now one and a turnover for Pikeview. And now Shady set up with excellent field position all off the turnover.
And just like that, this could be the reverse of the first period, the first quarter, Maris. Pikeview was able to, use the clock and get a score, and now Shady's cooking with gas here with 8:43 to go in the second period and in Pikeview territory.
Second half, rather. I know you meant
second
that.
Half, yes.
Yeah, Shady has it at the Pikeview 30. Here's a running play. They found something with Pinardo. He's got a big gain. He's inside the 20. He's down to the 15 and inside the 15 and closer to the 10. He's down about the 13-yard line. That's a 17-yard run.
And Maris, you can hear the Shady crowd coming to life now. That Shady's got that what's called that old momentum on their side, and what a big play that was on the last possession to ignite this team and get them going on that third down.
And I think Shady's found something with Bernardo running in between the tackles. Like I said, that's a big gainer, 17 yards. 1st and 10, Shady. Up under center's Cameron Mann's going to turn around, hand it to Whitaker. Whitaker following, he's blocking. Now he cuts it inside the 10, trying to break a tackle. They stack him up at the 10. He'll gain 3 on first down.
Yeah, and that time I think Pikeview may have gotten away with the face mask on Whitaker. Yeah, I got his hand in there, but a good strong run, and Shady, look for them just to continue to run here. There's no reason to put the ball up in the air.
And, this has been a really well-played game. We've only had a couple penalties in this game, and that's why this has been a very good game to call.
Hey, the refs they're in playoff mode as well, Maris.
So at the 10, it'll be second down for Shady. Shotgun snap. Pinardo gets it right up the gut. He's inside the 5, and he gets down near the goal line. He's a little shy. Put him down about the 1. That was a nice gain, and that'll get him down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal. Or I beg your pardon, that will give him a first down. That makes it a first down. I beg your pardon. So it'll be 1st and goal for Shady at the 2-yard line.
Yep, 2-yard line.
So 1st and goal for Shady. They're down 20-13. The last time they scored, they missed the extra point. They can get within a point. Here's a handoff. And here's Bernardo, and he'll get into the end zone for a touchdown. And now Shady just an extra point away from a tie. So on back-to-back drives here in the second half, with 7:23 left in the third quarter, Shady's within 1 at 20-19. That was a 4-play, 30-yard drive, and Pinardo gets it into the end zone. And Shady is setting up to try to tie the game here from placement with the PAT. So Pinardo back-to-back touchdown runs, Eric.
And Pinardo, like as you stated, Maris, he does a good job in between the tackles. He's a downhill, straight-ahead runner. He's not trying to make you miss. He's trying to run over you and get into the end zone.
So here's the extra point attempt that would tie the game. The snap is high, the hold is good, and the kick looks up and good, and it is. So your new score with 7:23 left in the third quarter. We're all evened up at 20-20. And, Eric, I guess we've saved the best game for last. This is our last regular season game before we dive into the postseason. And what a game we got. 7:23 for the third, all even at 20.
And you couldn't ask for anything more. Both of these teams are playing their hearts out, and Vince Colasurto did a good job of going and regrouping his kids. That's why games are played in 2 halves, and he probably told his guys he had plenty of time to make a comeback.
Well, what a difference 2 halves make is in this third quarter, Eric. Shady has ran 13 plays and scored 13 points. Pikeview's ran 1 play and turned it over.
Yeah, and it's like we just discussed. I think it's the reverse of the first period for the first quarter for Pikeview. They did a good job of establishing the run, chewing up clock, an 8-minute drive, so to speak, and keeping Shady's offense off the field. And now you get 1 play, a turnover, and Shady's back, and the ball game's tied.
Pikeview went to the locker room with all the momentum, and now Shady has taken that momentum back with 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter to get the game even at 20. Shady will kick off here on the near side hash on the 40-yard line. Back deep is Dylan Blake. Right in the center of the field for Pikeview. Here comes the kick, and it will be Blake that will take it inside the 20 as he crosses the 20 here on the near side, 25. Now he's trying to reverse his field, spins, gets up over the 30, but Shady's right there for a minimal kickoff return, and Shady's fired up.
And guess who made that tackle?
I didn't see who was in on the tackle.
Bernardo.
So Pikeview will have it for their second time here in the second half, and they'll have the ball on their own 31-yard line. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for Pikeview. Game tied at 20. And wow, if you blink, Pikeview was up 20-7 just like that. And next thing you know, boom, it's 20-20.
And Pikeview's fortunate to not be down in this game because Shady Spring did have a missed extra point on their first scoring drive of the second half.
Twin receivers to each side. Now they'll put a man in motion. Here's going to be the keeper by the quarterback, and he's going to lose yardage, and Shady is fired up. And when you score back-to-back touchdowns, offense leads to great defense. And at that time, Peyton Greer is pulled down behind the line of scrimmage for a big loss back to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and Caleb Whitaker is doing a good job defensively over here. They've moved him. They've made some adjustments. He was outside linebacker. He's playing kind of like a hybrid little linebacker, defensive end, and he does a good job of shutting the door on that quarterback keeper.
As you can see on your screen, 6:40 and counting, third quarter. The loss back to the 25-yard line. That's a loss of 6. It'll be 2nd and 16 for Pikeview. Game tied at 20. You can also see that on your screen. It'll be twin receivers to the top of the screen, twin receivers to the bottom of the screen. Greer, the quarterback, now puts a man in motion, takes the snap, goes to throw, comes near side, and they were trying to like a wheel route, trying to get the ball to Dylan Blake, the man they put in motion, and he didn't turn around, and the pass comes up incomplete.
But once again, Maris, Shady's doing a good job of getting to Peyton Greer this half. They're not going to set back and let him get comfortable. If you do, he'll pick you apart, and they're doing a good job of getting pressure and down a distance now.
So it'll be 3rd and 16 for Pikeview. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 6:21 for the third quarter. Pikeview, as you can see, has the ball on their own 25-yard line. And Shady has scored on both possessions here in the third quarter to get the game even. Shady was down 20-7 at halftime, or even at 20. There'll be twin receivers to the far side. Now they put a man in motion. They'll stack it up. Shady's going to jump as they were anticipating the blitz with Pinardo, and he got a little anxious and he got into the neutral zone, and that'll cost Shady 5.
That'll cost him 5, but I still like Shady's being aggressive. They're not just they're showing their hand a little bit, but they called a false start.
They called a false start. It makes it even tougher for Pikeview. That'll cost them 5 and get the ball back to the 20. So they're going to need 21 on this third down play. They've got to get out to the 41-yard line, and that makes it really difficult now as Pikeview now they've sent in a play from the sideline.
And once again, Shady's offense, Maris, will be able, if they can get a stop here, we'll have excellent field position.
So if you're Pikeview, you're telling Peyton Greer, don't force anything. If it's not there, throw it away or tuck it up under and run. Here's the shotgun snap. Greer gets it. He sits in the pocket, maybe setting up a screen. They flush him out. He's going to throw the ball down the sideline, and it's going to be knocked down. A beautifully defensive play that time by Ian Whitted was able to knock that down.
Yeah, and that was a great job because they were definitely beat. And at the last moment, Ian was able to bat the ball down out of the air because they let the defender behind them, which was Braden Dalton, who had an interception early in the first half.
So that brings up 4th down in a punting situation for Pikeview. And once again, if Shady handles the punt good, Eric, they should get excellent field position as they're standing on their side of the 50, about the 45, with both Mackey and Showalter. And here comes the punt, and it's going to be a short punt off to the far side. It's going to roll across the 40, but once again, Shady will start on Pikeview's side of the field at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and you couldn't ask for better field position this half. Their average field position is, the 44, probably if you're Shady Spring. And anytime you're working with a short field, you'll take that anytime.
So momentum is definitely wearing the colors of Shady Spring after being down 20-7. They scored on their first 2 possessions of the third quarter to tie the game. And now with 6:01 left in the third quarter, they have excellent field position and perhaps can try to regain the lead on this drive as they have a 1st and 10 at the Pikeview 42-yard line. Cameron Mans will work out of the gun. Waiting on the snap, gets it. It's Pinardo. He's got running room. He's inside the 40, and they've had some success, Shady has, in the second half, running Pinardo up inside.
And one thing I think that the adjustment they did make in the locker room, Maris, is like, hey, we need to just line up and win the line of scrimmage and run it down Pikeview's throat. And right now they're having a lot of success in between the tackles.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball down to the 37-yard line. That was a 5-yard gain on 1st down. They'll work out of the shotgun now. Nope, under center now is Mans. Turn around, hands the ball off. And there's a fumble. The ball's out, and Pikeview's got it.
And I think that was Caleb Whitaker with the ball. And That was a timely recovery by the Pikeview defense. And I think Whitaker, it looks like he may have been hurt, but I just think he was upset with the fumble.
So that's the third turnover. Shady has had 2 interceptions and now a fumble, and that's the third turnover of the game. And Pikeview desperately needed that, as now Pikeview will take over on their own 34-yard line.
And just as you said, the momentum had Shady's colors on it. Let's see if Pikeview can change the dress on the momentum here and change it to their colors.
So back and forth we're going. We're at the 5:25 mark of quarter number 3 in a 20-20 tie. Shady, to secure a playoff spot, needs a win. Out of the shotgun, here's Pikeview. Peyton Greer takes the snap, looks near side, throwing the ball downfield, man coverage. It's up and juggled and knocked out of bounds. He could not come down with it, and that was Nathan Reif, a 5'9", 165-pound junior, and pretty good defense here on the near side. I think that was Davis defending.
Well, let's see if we can pull this up on the Little General Instant Replay here, Maris. This was a perfectly thrown ball, and the receiver was just not able to haul it in. I mean, right on the money. This Peyton Greer, he has a nice arm and very calm.
And I thought Gavin Davis had good coverage, and it would have been a great catch because Davis was right there with him.
Yes, it was. It was good on both ends. Great defense, great throw, just not a completion.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. The clock stops on the incompletion. 5:19, as you can see on your screen. Game tied at 20. Pikeview once again. They've always generally put a man, not always, but most of the time, a man in motion. Here's the snap to Peyton Greer. Heavy rush comes. They force him out. Shady's lost containment. It's going to be a nice gain for Greer, and he's hit out of bounds, and there's no flag. And apparently that was a clean hit, but a nice gain, though. And he's going to get the ball across the 40 out to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and, the Shady defenders that time, as he scrambled, Maris, I panned the field and watched the cornerbacks, and they just kept running with the offensive wide receivers, because sometimes when a quarterback breaks containment, you want to cheat up, and that's how you get the ball thrown over top. And they did a good job of staying with their man.
So he picked up 9 on the play, makes it 3rd down and 1 from the 43-yard line. They've got to get to the 44. So a 3rd down play as they run receivers to each side. Now they put a man in motion. Greer takes the snap. He rolls out. Pressure comes. They force him out of the pocket, throwing the ball down the near sideline and overshoots his guy. And I think that's a good play that you're going to do on 3rd and 1, because definitely going to come back and go for it on 4th and 1.
Yeah, let's see what they draw up here. And the Pikeview defender did a good job of offensive player did a good job of turning into the defender, and because the Shady defensive back had a chance to pick that one off.
If Shady can get a stop here, maybe they can reverse the momentum. It'll be 4th and 1 for Pikeview on their own 43-yard line in a 20-20 tie with 4:20 left, 3rd quarter. So it'll be Peyton Greer out of the gun. Takes the snap. Throws, seam, it's caught, 1st down, and a big gain and a nice yak, yards after catch inside the 40 to the guy that they look for, Dylan Blake, and able to carry the mail inside the 40-yard line for a 1st down.
Yeah, he had to go to old reliable there, Peyton Greer, that being Peyton Greer, Dylan Blake, and he's more comfortable, it seems, throwing to him because he knows the big guy will usually make the catch. He's a sure-handed guy, and they move the chains here.
They get the ball down to the Shady 38-yard line, and that's a big connection on 4th down. Keeps the drive alive. We're under 4 minutes for the 3rd quarter in a tie game at 20. Greer waiting on the shotgun snap. Going to hand the ball this time to Barnes. Barnes up inside and gains a couple of yards as he gets the ball down to the 35-yard line, giving 3 on the carry and make it 2nd and 7.
And that's the first touch of the second half for Barnes. They did a good job utilizing Emilion Barnes in the first half, Maris. And right now, this is kind of his territory where you can string some runs together and try to move the chains as well.
We're under 3.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Pikeview was able to get a fumble as Shady turned it over for the 3rd time. Shady's thrown 2 interceptions in the first half, a fumble here in the second half, and Pikeview is on the move at the Shady 35-yard line with a 2nd and 7. Out of the gun is Peyton Greer, gets the snap, back to throw. Here comes the pressure. They forced him out, though. He throws the ball short, and Shady's all over it, and that's not going to gain anything. And I think a late flag came in. I couldn't see. I thought the official threw a flag on the far side, maybe not. Looks like there's an injured player down. And there is a flag down. I did think I saw the referee pull the flag, but then the players were standing in front of me, and I down there on the far side, and I couldn't see.
And it looks like the injured player has gotten up. No, he's still down.
So we're going to have a penalty. I think it's going to go against Shady.
Yeah, it looks like a dead ball foul.
Yeah, it's going to be a late hit. Apparently, it's a dead ball personal foul and Shady. And ouch, you can't have that because they'll tack 15 yards on to the end of the play.
And that's an untimely personal foul, which all of them you should never want to pick up one in such a crucial game here.
So they'll mark off the penalty, and that'll take the ball down
to the 20.
To the 20, or maybe, well, the line of scrimmage was the 35, but it may have happened just inside of the line of scrimmage. Going to take the ball actually down inside the 20 to the 19, and it'll be a first down for Pikeview at the Shady 19-yard line as they attend to the injured player across the way with 2:59 remaining in the third quarter and a 20-20 tie. So
yeah, let's just hope this is not anything serious, but it doesn't look like the Pikeview player. Are they getting him to roll over?
Yeah, or maybe they're getting him up.
See.
I really couldn't tell what had happened because we had all the players. Yeah, it was muddled with all the players. The pressure came and it forced the quarterback for Pikeview, Peyton Greer, to hit the check down receiver, and he made the catch of the ball. And then, like you said, with all the players kind of muddled up in there, and I didn't even see. I saw the flag come out, but I didn't see the late hit,
play, yes.
The actual penalty. But the penalty was against Shady for a personal foul. I don't know if we can get that on the replay. Maybe we can, and we'll take a look at it here at the Little General Instant Replay.
Let's see. Peyton does a good job of climbing the pocket. Let's see.
And I don't see the late hit. I guess he speared him maybe.
I guess as he came in because
it looked like it was a timely hit. The flag came as the second Shady defender came in to make the play, but
it was pretty bang play.
Yeah, initially that did not look late to me, but we're not trying to be officials, just trying to articulate what we're seeing.
It didn't seem like it was too much, anything too excessive, but
it's
good to see the player get up and move. He's moving gingerly, but.
Yeah, there was no malice intent on that play at all.
No, just a good, hard football play.
So with the penalty, that'll move the ball, as I mentioned, down to the 19-yard line. It'll be a new package of downs for Pikeview. And let's see who the young man is that they're taking off the field. That looks like Nathan Reif. That's who that is, number 10, Reif.
And I think Reif is one of the guys that had an interception in the first half, Maris. He did a good job of sealing a receiver and picking Cameron Mann's.
Yeah, Shady's turned the ball over 3 times, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Pikeview has turned it over once with the fumble. And right now when the action resumes, there'll be 2:59 left in the third quarter, as you can see on your screen, and the game tied at 20. It'll be 1st and 10 for Pikeview at the Shady 19-yard line.
And right now the defense really, really has to play this. The time is against you now. You don't want to give up a touchdown here if you're the Shady Spring defense.
And you got to think Pikeview. There's probably no field goals because they haven't even tried to kick an extra point. So
everything is 4-down territory.
Yeah, it's 1st and 19 really for Pikeview.
Exactly
as
right.
They have a first down on their own 19-yard line. As Peyton Greer will work out of the gun. We'll resume back to action. Takes the snap. Here's a running play up inside Shrewsbury, and he's just trying to fight for extra yardage as he gets the ball down to the 15 and inside the 15-yard line. Maybe let's see where they're actually going to put him down at. Just inside the 15, maybe.
Yeah, they have him.
No, I beg your pardon, not the
17.
15. Yeah,
it's around the 17.
17. I beg your pardon. Just hard for me to see right there. And it's going to be a 2-yard gain, as Eric told you, down to the 17-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 17 for Pikeview. As you can see the clock turning, and we're approaching 2 minutes left here in quarter number 3, and the game even at 20 from the 17. It'll be Peyton Greer out of the gun, waiting on the snap. He gets it, rolls the pocket to the near side. He's set, and now they blow the play dead. And let's see what we got.
I think it may have been a false start, maybe dead.
Do you see a penalty flag? I don't. And there might have been a timeout. I'm told maybe they got the timeout before the play. There's an injured Shady player, but I'm not sure why they blew the play dead.
And that injured player looks like Bryson Pinardo, Maris, and he's been the key cog of this second-half comeback.
Maybe there was a timeout called because I don't see a flag, and I didn't see a flag. I didn't or don't.
Maybe Bryson may have called the timeout.
So there's going to be a timeout. So Pikeview called a timeout, so no play. And I think everybody up here in the press box, everybody was like searching for actually what took place as we watch it here we try to watch it here on instant replay. Here it is, the little general instant replay. They blew it dead. I mean, I can see maybe where the injury or where the Shady player was shaken up there, but I guess they had Pikeview had called a timeout prior to the snap. So it'll be a timeout. That'll be their first timeout of the second half. And, Eric, those timeouts could really, obviously in a 2020 game, and we're in the third quarter, and this game has been tight and looks like it's going to be tight, those timeouts really come into play.
Yeah, but maybe the coaches on top of this press box saw something unfavorable, in the defensive set. So burn it now because, like you said, this is second and 19.
Well, 17, you're
17.
right. And if you're Pikeview, you think, look, you got to score on this drive.
Yeah, and if you do, you go into the fourth quarter with all the momentum if you can get a score, punch it in here.
So out of the timeout, 2nd and 8 at the Shady 17 for Pikeview. Greer takes the shotgun snap, has time, throws the ball into the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. That was a well-thrown ball, and I'm not sure who was able to haul that in.
That was Dylan Blake. Let's see if we can get this on the little general instant replay. Yeah. Maris, this is a
beautiful throw.
And they're taking advantage of man coverage. As you can see, that's man-to-man, no safety help. And the corner got caught looking into the quarterback. As one thing you can't do, you need to pick the receiver up and trust your instincts. And once you look, one false move, and there it is, 6.
That was an 8-play, 66-yard drive. And that was a 17-yard touchdown from Peyton Greer to Dylan Blake. And now, once again, Pikeview is set up to go for 2 as they've regained the lead at 26-20. Here comes the 2-point play. They hand the ball to Barnes, and that's not going to get there. So that's a big stop for Shady. But Pikeview has regained the lead with 1:48 remaining in the third quarter. Your new score is Pikeview 26, Shady 20. Once again, that drive was 8 plays, 66 yards, and it was a Greer 17-yard touchdown pass and to Blake. So Pikeview, after recovering the Shady fumble, is able to take advantage of it, Eric, and march down the field and get the touchdown.
Yes, and Peyton Greer does a good job. He throws a great-looking ball, Maris, and anytime you have a receiver the caliber of Dylan Blake, I would take my chances one-on-one anytime. I guarantee you he's well over 150 yards receiving at this juncture in the game. He had 104 at halftime, and he's made a couple big catches. One right at 140, our trusty stat man. See, he makes me look good every time.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
try to
Chris.
be, I tell you what, I told Coach Lilly this, and even got on game day, on any day, sometimes it's hard to get a coach to laugh, but on game day last week when Chris and I got to Independence, and Chris, longtime friends with Independence Coach John Lilly like I am, and, Chris was over talking to him, and I told Coach Lilly, I said, Chris makes me look smarter with the ER, and not only did Chris laugh, but Coach Lilly got a real kick out of that, so it's always good to see a coach laugh, especially on the day of the game, because normally they're so focused and ready, they don't find anything funny, especially on game day.
Yeah, and that is pretty funny. Anything can make you look better.
Well, that's for sure.
You said smarter. I'm sorry.
Smarter. But anyway, that makes me look better too. But here's another thing, the strategy. As Pikeview has kicked the ball out of bounds short, I guess they don't want to, maybe they think they can't cover, but they're giving up a great field position.
Yeah, and what you're doing is you put your defense in a situation where, the less yards that an offense has to drive, one big play can put them in your territory already. I'm all about kicking it deep. I'm going to take my chances. If you're going to angle it deep towards the 20, and I'm trying to take my chances with kick coverage.
Well, Shady's going to start this drive on their own 45. It's a 6-point lead for Pikeview, as you can see on your screen, 26-20 with 1:46 left third quarter. Shady will work out of the gun with a 1st and 10. Mans gives it to the second man through. He's got a nice gain. That's Whitaker. He's across midfield into Pikeview territory. He got a nice gain on first down as he'll get the ball down to the 48-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah, good hard run, and you know that that Caleb Whitaker really wants to, rectify that fumble that they turned into points for Pikeview. So let's see what he does. I would feed him a couple of times here and get him going.
They'll put him down at the 49. He will gain 6 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4 as Mans will work out of the gun. Gets the shotgun snap. Here's the run to Whitaker. He's got the first down. He's inside the Pikeview 40. They stack him up there, but he will get the ball down to the Pikeview 39-yard line and a new package of downs for the Shady Tigers.
And right here, that big stop on the extra point by Shady comes into play because they can either score and take the lead with the score and attacking on the extra point.
So to the 44-yard line, Shady will have a first down as we're under a minute here left in the third quarter. Out of the gun and takes the snap as Mans looks, throws, going deep, got a man out there, ball's underthrown, and it's going to be a penalty flag. It's going to be pass interference on Pikeview as the Shady receiver is injured as he took a hit. If we can get this on the little general replay, but the Shady receiver had the Pikeview defender beat, and had the ball been there, Eric, that would have been an easy walk-in touchdown as we watched the replay.
The ball was slightly underthrown, and as the defender got there, he laid the hammer
to Mackey's head.
To Mackey, and that was – Mackey took a shot, and he's down, and I hope he's okay.
And here's the thing that I don't like about the rule. It's only 15 yards. I think something like that should be a spot foul.
And we've talked about this. I think there are 3 or 4 rules in football that should be universal.
And not only that, they're calling this offsetting. They're going to say offensive pass interference on Shady, defensive pass interference on Pikeview, and offset it. I don't know how you can have interference on both offense and defense. If anything, the shot not late, but the shot he took to the head, that should be in a penalty on Pikeview.
Well, I'm sorry, it was early.
Yeah.
So interference early, but the receiver's still down and hurt.
So at the 44-yard line with 2nd 10, but I've never seen anything. I don't know how you can have interference on both offense and defense.
So the play didn't happen.
No, it didn't, and I guess it's going to be first down. Yeah, they get the down over. You're right, just like the play never took place. So it'll be back to the 44-yard line with the first down. That's a big break for Pikeview. Out of the gun, here's the handoff. So they get the ball to Pinardo, and he gets down to the 40, and maybe, they're going to put him down right at the Pikeview 40. He'll get 4 on first down.
Yeah, and Pinardo's been the steady cog in this offense in the second half, Maris. He's doing a good job of just, plowing ahead 3-4 yards at chunk plays.
And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. At the end of 3, your score is Pikeview 26, Shady 20. You're watching live streaming coverage of high school football on video production.
Looking to sell your vehicle? Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot. Whether you're still making payments or have a clear title, we'll turn your car into cash today at Auto Buyers of West Virginia. So come see us at Cranberry Creek Shopping Center off Eisenhower Drive in Beckley. Auto Buyers of West Virginia, the simple, safe, and secure way to sell your vehicle.
My name is Hank, and I'm coming clean. Everyone I know thinks I know something about plumbing. Oh, I look the part. I talk the talk. I have all the tools, snake, pipe wrenches, torches, but I can't fix anything. I can't even flush a toilet. What they don't know is I've been calling Modley's Plumbing and Heating. They're fully licensed and insured. I just simply call 304-253-HELP, and here they come down the road to fix the problem. It just feels so good to get rid of the guilt.
Ready to start the fourth quarter, and Shady will have the ball at the Pikeview 40-yard line. It'll be a second down play for the Tigers. Working out of the shotgun will be Cameron Mans. He'll take the snap, set back, looking to throw. Now he's in trouble. He's forced out of the pocket, comes to the other side, and he'll run out of bounds. And not only will he run out of bounds, but he'll lose about 5 or 6 yards on the play. And, Eric, you would have just thrown the ball away so you wouldn't lose the yardage on that play.
And that's one thing that young quarterbacks need to realize. Once you're outside that tackle box, just throw it past the line of scrimmage out of bounds and save those yards. So now it's 4-down territory for sure, but now this makes it 3rd and 11. So, you need to pick up at least 5 or 6 on this play to make it easily attainable.
Well, yeah, you lose the yards that you picked up on the play before. Here's the shotgun snap. They're going to throw the ball short. It's caught, a very minimal gain, and actually they're going to say incomplete. It looked like he caught it, but we couldn't see in front of the near side as Mackey slipped, but they're going to call it incomplete. So that's going to bring up 4th down and long for Shady.
Yeah, and right here, if you're Shady,
beg your pardon, Eric. Now the one referee did wave it off. Now they say it is a catch.
Yeah, and I was wondering about that. If he did not catch that, it would have been a fumble because he turned around and made a football move. So,
but I did see the referee give the incompletion sign. But it's going to be a minimal gain of 2 yards. So a big 4th down play here for Shady. Here's the shotgun snap to Mans. He's got time. He throws. Got a man wide open, and it's caught. And not able to get his momentum to turn up field, it's going to be enough for a 1st down. But had the receiver been able to turn up field, he had even more yards. And I think that is Davis hauling that in.
I think that is Gavin Davis, and coming in, he doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but he is the leading receiver for the Shady Spring Tigers on the year. So, yes, he did a good job of getting open. And like you saw, the ball was on the money, but just not able to turn up the field and getting the yards after the catch.
A big 13-yard connection for a 1st down as Davis able to haul it in on the far side. Here comes Shady. Here's a running play. Whitaker, he's got the edge. He's inside the 20. There's a flag. It's going to be a holding penalty on Shady as the wide receiver blocking downfield will get called for the holding penalty, and that'll negate a nice gain as Shady was the receiver really didn't need to do it because the running back really had the edge.
Yeah, and that's a tough situation for the receiver. Once the running back got outside, you're going to put yourself in a situation to hold. Just throw your hands up and screen them. Just get in front of the defender and try to keep him from making a tackle. So that's another costly penalty for the Shady Spring football team.
So there you see the official give the indication a hold against Shady. They'll take it from the spot of the foul. It happened down near the 15-yard line. So we'll wait for the mark-off. As that play started on the 29, that would have been a 1st down without the hold. So when they move it back, they're going to put the ball down at the 17-yard line, it looks like.
So it'll be
or is that
first and
I can't
it's the 27.
Yeah, the 27-yard line, rather.
So it'll be 1st and 7 from scrimmage here.
So here's a run right up the middle. Nice hard run. Pinardo breaking tackles, finding the goal line. He dives in, and he's short right at the goal line. Looked like he got in, but a good hard run as he gets 26 yards, and they put him down right at the goal line.
Well, I'll tell you, Maris, Bryson Pinardo has really put this Shady Spring offense on his back in the second half and said, give it to me between the tackles, and I'll lead you to the goal line.
With 11:15 remaining in the 4th quarter, Shady has a 1st and goal to 1. That was a 26-yard run right up the gut from Pinardo, and Shady a yard away from tying the game. Mans will work out of the shotgun. Has backs to both sides of him. They'll hand the ball off to Pinardo. He'll finish the drive with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And now the game is all even at 26-all as Pinardo is doing work. And that will be a 9-play, 55-yard drive. And Pinardo, the hat trick, Eric, using my hockey term, there is his 3rd touchdown to even the score at 26. And Shady an extra point away from regaining the lead.
And Pinardo has done a good job in between the tackles, and this is a huge extra point. They had a little trouble with the snap on the last one and was able to get it down and up and in. So let's see what happens here.
Waiting on the snap. Snap is low. The hold is good, though. The kick is blocked. And I think what threw the timing off that, Eric, was the low snap. But Shady at least got it tied. And with 10:57 left here in the 4th quarter, your new score is Shady 26, Pikeview 26. You're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Production.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton. Or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
We're all leaving at 26 apiece, and Eric, like I said, we've waited for the best for last, as this is our last regular season game before we get into coverage of postseason here on video production. And what a game we have with 10:57 left in the fourth quarter, all even at 26.
Yeah, and I think from here on out, Mayor says whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, and that being with a turnover would be huge. But you don't need costly penalties on either side, so just play some straight-up football and may the best team win from here on out.
On the far side hash, here comes the kickoff, and it's a deep kickoff to the far side, driving the Pikeview returner back to the 15, trying to come to the near side, and then takes it back to the far side. Shady does a good job covering it, and Pikeview is going to start the hole. They're going to start right about their 20-yard line, as that was a well-covered kickoff by the Shady special teams.
Yeah, and finally, Shady is kicking it deep. All three kickoffs this half, and they're doing a good job on coverage, and that's what I would do. The way the field conditions are, getting a little worse as late in this game, Mayor. So
getting a little slippery, perhaps. We've had a little
slippery
rain. They're going to put the ball down at the 21-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Pikeview. They have the ball on their own 21. We're tied at 26, 10:48 left here in regulation, here in the fourth quarter. Here's comes Pikeview. They're trying to run the ball here to the edge. Shrewsbury trying to get to the edge and get a very short gain, and Shady does a good job of containing the play.
And I can see out of that formation to the bottom of the screen, Maris, if the viewers would check it out, Dylan Blake was in man coverage. So I think they're running that play to set something up, because you need to watch how many people you put in the box, because right now this offense, and Peyton Greer throws a real good deep ball, so you need to find 88 and keep them in check.
They're going to go for no gain on that play. 2nd and 10 on their own 21. Here's Peyton Greer out of the gun. Gets the shotgun snap. Sets to throw. Pressure comes. They force him out of the pocket. He's on the move. He throws back across against his body, and it's almost intercepted.
It is intercepted.
I thought that ball hit the ground. Maybe
No.
not. It is picked off by Davis. Gavin Davis with the pick. And Shady will take over. But for a minute, Eric, I thought the ball hit the ground. Let's see if we can get that on the instant replay.
Yeah, that was what's called the old tip drill, Maris. It went through 1, 2, 3.
The ball did not hit the ground, I beg your pardon. As we watch it on the little general replay, and Gavin Davis comes up with a huge pick, and you just talked about that, Eric, and Shady will now have the ball on the Pikeview 34-yard line.
Yeah, and this is the juncture in the game right here. If you're Shady, if you could Shady Spring could string a drive together here and take the lead, they could really put Pikeview's back against the wall.
Pinardo, they've had a lot of success with him. They go right back to him. He breaks through inside the 30, inside the 25, and he's down with a huge gain in the first down at the 20-yard line of Pikeview.
And you have to love what Bryson Pinardo has given this offense. And as I stated earlier, he is not trying to duck or dodge you. He is running straight to you to try to run you over, and that's that old linebacker mentality as they take him out to give him a breather, but you can guarantee he will be back in the offense here shortly.
They put him down at the 21. It is a first down. It's a 13-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 for Shady at the Panther 21-yard line. 9.5 for the game, tied at 26. Here's Mans. Going to give the ball to Whitaker. Whitaker trying to go off the right side. Tough sledding. He's going to get to the 20, and that's about it. And we've got a penalty flag thrown on the far side, and let's see what the flag's going to be.
I didn't actually see where the flag was dropped, Maris.
The side judge on the far side, and it's going to go against Shady, perhaps for maybe illegal formation.
Illegal
maybe.
formation,
yeah.
I don't think. Maybe not enough men on the line of scrimmage,
Right.
because it looks like they're talking to Mackey right there, and looks like Tyler Mackey may have been the culprit. Legal formation, not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
So the penalty will take the ball back to the 26-yard line and make it 1st and 15 with 9:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter and the game tied at 26. It's been back and forth. Pikeview scored first. Then Shady got a score. Pikeview led 20-7 at halftime. Shady tied it at 20. Pikeview went up 26-20. Shady tied it at 26-all. That's where we are right now. 1st and 15, Shady. Here's the snap to Mans. In the pocket. Looks, throws near side, and he had a receiver, and looked like he just couldn't make the connection, and it's incomplete, and we have an injured Pikeview player.
Well, let's look at this further, Maris. You know what's one thing I've noticed is after that last big run by Pinardo, he has not been back in the game. I don't know if he was shaken up on that run or anything, but maybe we can see on this instant replay how the Pikeview player was injured.
As we watch this, it looks like there was some space there, Eric, for the receiver for Shady. As you can see, Mann's making the throw, and he just overthrew him.
Yeah, just didn't connect. It looked like if we could see this again just out of our screen, it looked like the lineman was cut. It was a cut block.
Well, they didn't throw a flag.
Yeah, but it was kind of like bang, bang.
Right, and we're watching it here again, as you mentioned.
To the left
Eric.
of the screen. See, he's engaged.
You're right.
Comes in.
You're right. And in the NFL, and I know rules aren't the same all the way across, and we wish they would be, because you cannot do that. You can't engage high and low. And that's what they call a chop block, and that should have been a penalty. And I would think that would still be the call in high school as well.
Because he was definitely engaged, and then the running back comes in low, and that's the way to
that's how you tear a knee
injury.
Yes. So on the incompletion, the clock stops with 9:02 left in the game. We've still got plenty of time left in the game.
Yeah, it's a few possessions here, but if you're Shady Spring, you want to be the team, in the lead.
Well, no question. I think that the team that breaks the tie in scores, takes the lead, is with the next score. May not win. I can't say they can win the game, but definitely they put a lot of pressure on the other team.
Yeah, and Pinardo is back. Bryson Pinardo is back. Good to see him back, and I hope this player for Pikeview can get back in the game here shortly.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 for Shady at the 26-yard line of Pikeview. Cameron Mans to work out of the shotgun. Gets the snap. They're going to hand the ball to Pinardo up inside. He takes a big hit, turns his legs, and he gets down near the 20-yard line. A nice gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down play for Shady.
Yeah, Bryson Pinardo, he's as tough as they come. I mean, I'm really impressed with how he's not given up. He's been everywhere defensively, and in the second half, he has been the offensive star for this Shady Spring Tiger team.
Well, he picked up the penalty yardage, or almost. He got 4 on the play. He gets to the 22. So from the 22, they'll need 11 yards. Here's the snap. Here's a run. Whitaker, he's got some running room. He's got a blocker ahead of him. He's got a 1st down. He's inside the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. Or they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. I think they're going to say he went out of bounds, but he did pick up the 1st down.
Great run, how he tight-roped the sideline. So let's watch this on the Little General Instant Replay here. Mayor's Whitaker does a great job to utilize his speed to get outside. And as he turns the corner, I don't see him stepping out.
Well, the reason I said that, now it is a touchdown. I never saw the official put his hands up, and now they do. So after the turnover, that's a 4-play, 34-yard drive. That's a 22-yard run from Whitaker, and Shady has regained the lead, 32-26. And here's a very important extra point. The snap is high, but the hold is down. The kick is up. It looks good, and it is good. So your new score, with 8:15 left here in the fourth quarter, is now Shady 33 and Pikeview 26. And after Gavin Davis intercepted the pass, Shady goes 34 yards in 4 plays and a beautiful 22-yard run by Whitaker for the touchdown. So what a game we've had here, 33-26. And really, Eric, when you look at things, if Pikeview was to score, they haven't attempted a kick. So obviously for Shady you want to make the point after, but even if you didn't, Pikeview was going to go for 2 anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where they've lined up and tried to go for 2. But with 8:15 left in this fourth period, let's see. Shady's been kicking it deep. I would rely on kicking it deep and trying to give Pikeview a long field to drive to try to take the lead.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time left. There's plenty of time for Pikeview. As you mentioned, 8:15 left in the game, and Shady now up by 7. Shady's turned it over 3 times. Pikeview's turned it over twice, so 5 turnovers between them. And Shady will kick off on the far side hash. And Shady, as you had mentioned before, had been kicking the ball really deep and getting good coverage from their kickoff team.
So, I mean, I would rely on that, and the defense has come up big with a few plays here in the second half. Let's see if this momentum has really shifted to Shady.
So on the far side hash, here comes the kickoff. And this is going to be a little shorter than the previous one. And here comes the return for Pikeview up over the 30, up over the 35. Over there on the far side is Dylan Blake. And a nice return, and Pikeview's going to have pretty good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, I think they're going to spot him just shy or 38-yard line, it looks like, maybe.
So waiting for him to see where they're going to put the ball down.
35. I was looking at the wrong.
They're going to put him down at the,
36.
well, maybe over the 35. I do see one official standing about the 38. Put him at the 36.
Yes.
So the 36-yard line is where Pikeview will start this drive. And Shady up by 7, as you can see on your screen, with 8:06 left here in the fourth quarter.
And you see what Shady's done differently defensively. They have a safety plan in the middle of the field.
Here is Barnes, and just no really room to run. And they've really done a good job after Barnes had a pretty decent first half on ground. They've really contained him here in the second half.
Yes, they've really contained him. He got most of his yardage in the first period on that first drive, but since then they've held serve on the run game. Shady Spring has.
Barnes gets out to the 38. He got 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock turning. We're approaching 7.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Shady up, as you can see on your screen, 33-26. Peyton Greer, the quarterback, with twin receivers to the near side. The bottom of your screen is going to be a wide receiver screen. They get the ball over to Dylan Blake. He makes one man miss, Pinardo. Then he spins to the 40.
Fumble.
He's hit. It looked like the ball came out, but it didn't.
It did.
It
was
did,
taken.
and Shady's got it.
The ball was definitely taken away.
And the referee is pointing Shady's way, and it is a turnover. You're right.
Yes, it looks like
you're right.
It looks like Jacob Sherwalter came in and just stole the ball from Dylan Blake and right in the middle of the field. If we could see this on the Little General Instant Replay,
you're all over, and I think it was Pinardo that came out there with it.
Yeah, no, it was.
We'll watch here and see.
It was Jacob Sherwalter, 11. Watch when he comes in, just takes it from him.
You're all over that one.
That is the big play of the game right there. 7:14 left in this fourth period, and if you can just string together a couple first downs and get some points and milk this game away.
Well, Eric, you got your professor glasses on. Maybe I need to wear glasses because you were all over top. You saw everything on that.
I saw it all.
So at the Pikeview 44-yard line, and that's been the starting point for Shady. They've had 2 possessions from the Pikeview 44, and they've scored on both of them. And now they'll start here at the Pikeview 44 with the ball and up 7. Look for maybe Shady to run the ball, milk clock, and they'll hand the ball to Pinardo. He's got running room inside the 40, inside the 35, the 30. He breaks free. One man to beat. 20 to the 15, down to the 10, and he's got a first and goal. And here comes multiple flags.
It's going to be a horse collar, so this is going down half the distance.
Well,
definitely was a horse collar.
There were multiple flags. Looked like it was raining yellow as they come flying through the air, as you can see on our screen. If we can watch this again on the Little General Instant Replay, watch all these flags come out.
Hey, but I like what I see from Bryson Pinardo. They found something straight up the gut here in the second half, and once he gets his lean going, he's not going to be denied. And there's your horse collar, and that's an easy call by the refs.
So they will tack on, or the penalty yardage, as you mentioned, will be half the distance, and that will take the ball down to the 1. Is it the 1? Maybe they'll take the ball to the 2-yard line. So it'll be first and goal for Shady at the 2. And here's a chance, Eric. And I know we still got 7 minutes left in the game, but this might put the game away if Shady's able to punch it in here.
And this could put the people into the exits for Pikeview here. If you're able to punch it in here.
And Pinardo did punch it in, I believe, waiting for the indication. I don't see it, so apparently they've stopped him just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, but right here, what it does, though, it makes it turns Pikeview into a one-dimensional team where you can just really play a soft zone and make them pass the ball. They're not going to run it with 7 minutes to go if you can punch it in.
Yeah, and here, if you're a Pikeview, you've probably got to sell out on the run.
Well, right here, you got to sell out on the run, but you also have to think about time. And if you don't, might need to call a timeout here if you get a stop, if they don't get it in.
So up under center's man's, he'll hand the ball off. It's going to be a touchdown for Shady, and that
Whitaker.
is going to be Whitaker getting into the end zone. And Shady off of a turnover. Once again, the 44-yard drives have been what has worked for Shady. That's the third time tonight that Shady has started at the Pikeview 44, and all three times the same result in the end zone. That's a three-play, 44-yard drive as Whitaker finishes off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run, and Shady now has a little breathing room as they extend the lead to 39-26. So waiting for the PAT. Showalter. Hold, it's a high snap. They get it down. The kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So with 6:18 remaining in the game, your new score is Shady 40 and Pikeview 26. And, Eric, boy, this has really been a tale of two halves.
Yeah,
it was 20-7 Pikeview at halftime. Pikeview has only scored 6 points in the second half, while Shady has scored 33 points.
And what we talked about is that's why you play two halves. And right now, Pikeview is right on their average that they're giving up a game, 42 yards. They were playing great defense, and Shady Spring came back with some great halftime adjustments. And their adjustment was, let's line up and run straight at them, and it seems to have worked and turned the tide on the Pikeview Panthers.
Well, no question, that has definitely worked, but also Shady able to turn them over. And as Pikeview has committed 3 turnovers, and Shady able to take advantage of that, as Shady with 6:18 remaining in the game, trying to punch their ticket into the playoffs, and they will do that with a win. And they're up now 2 touchdowns at 40-26.
And it's been a gutsy win. It would have been easy for the Shady team to lay it down, being down 20-7 at halftime. But they came out fired up, and the fans stayed in it. And right now they're 6 minutes and some change away from getting into the playoffs.
And, you know, Eric, you had made a point earlier, which I totally agreed. Now, if you're Pikeview, you're probably going to ban the run. You're down 2 scores. You've got to score quick. And as I always say, you can't score 2 touchdowns till you score 1. So Shady can know that, really can just bring heat, really don't have to worry about the run.
Actually, they may, if you can bring heat with 4, play a soft zone and maybe get another turnover.
But what you didn't want to do is what Shady just did right there, is kick the ball out of bounds. That'll be a penalty, and that'll allow Pikeview to start on the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Alex Redden has done a good job of kicking off for the Shady Spring Tigers here, and that was just not what they needed right there to give great field position to Pikeview.
And if you're Shady, you think you got to keep everything in front of you now. You're going to play zone. You don't want to give up the big play.
That's why if I'm the defensive coach, I am going to rush 3, no more than 4, keep my lanes, and have two deep safeties and just scan the field and try to pick Peyton Greer off.
So Greer will start from his own 35-yard line, takes the shotgun snap. They're pressure. They're a 3-man rush. They force him out of the pocket. He's rolling. He throws the ball on the far side, and he had to throw it away. And a good job by Shady. They had 7. Actually, they rushed forward, had 7 in coverage.
Yeah, and that's what, you had your safety, not letting anybody get as deep as him. And good sportsmanship here by the Shady Spring Tigers as they get some mud out of Dylan Blake's helmet.
But a big key, when you can get pressure by rushing 4, as they forced the quarterback, Peyton Greer, for Pikeview out of the pocket and on the run, a very difficult pass.
There's just not a lot of places to complete a pass there, Maris.
So 2nd and 10, clock stops on the incompletion, 6:09 for the game. Shady up by 2 touchdowns. They put a man in motion. Greer takes the shotgun snap. He looks, going to throw deep here on the near side. That might be picked off, and it is. That's great coverage, and that ball is intercepted by Shady. And that's a good job by the Tigers, and the Tigers will take over. That's the 4th turnover.
And that is going to be an interception by Cameron Ball of the Shady Spring Tigers. He's listed as – we saw him. He was the backup quarterback that had to come in, in the Wyoming East game that we did, Maris, after a few ejections in that contest. And wow, the Shady Spring Tigers roared in the second half.
They did restore the roar. They flipped the script. And now with just a second under 6 minutes for the game, you would think now a real heavy dose of Whitaker and Pinardo to run the ball and try to run out the clock, and they're up 2 scores.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just thinking. Remember, Jacob Sherwalter has come up big in back-to-back weeks as far as turnovers and taking what the offense, so to speak, gives him, because it was a bad snap. He's the holder on that snap and got up against Liberty and ran it in for the touchdown and the win.
Here's Mans out of the shotgun snap, handoff to Pinardo, what we thought we'd see a lot of, and a nice gain on first down. Keeps the clock moving, gets the ball out to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 5 on first down.
And look for Pikeview, if they give up a first down here, to burn some timeouts.
Well, if you're Pikeview, you've got to, you're fighting against the clock. You've got to try to maybe tackle the football, try to strip it. If you're Shady, you've got to hang on to the ball. And once you feel contact, you don't need to fight for that extra yardage. Just go down because you're milking the clock. You're under 5.5 for the game, and it's a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, you're just trying to get right now. You have a comfortable lead, and as you stated, you're just trying to run this clock out and on into the playoffs.
So here's Cameron. Mans takes the snap. It's Whitaker. And he's going to lose maybe a half yard or no gain.
Hey, did you see Whitaker had two hands on the ball? He's making sure he's not turning the ball over deep in Pikeview territory.
And you're going to lose a yard back to the 34. But I'll tell you, and I think you'll agree, it wouldn't be a bad thing even if now they put it back to the 35. But if Shady would go 3 and I have to punt it back to him, it's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Because you're going to take clock off, so you're going to run the ball here. If you don't get a first down, you can milk the clock again and run it down before you punt it. You just don't want to throw the ball up and have it intercepted or have it incomplete and stop the clock. 4.5 to go. That's the one thing, there's not a play clock here, so you've got to be able to think, when you need to snap the ball, and I think that's what Cameron Mans is looking over to the Shady sideline of when he should take this snap. 4:25 and counting, and I think Shady's going to take a timeout, and they will. So Shady takes a timeout as they run the clock down to 4:24 for the game, but still up 2 scores and taking a timeout. There's no way I would throw this ball here.
Yeah, this is definitely a run all the way, and I think that's what the Shady coaches are going to say. They're going to say, look, if we don't get the first down here, we don't need a turnover. Let's live to punt it and just play defense.
Yeah, no penalties. Look, we're going to run. If you're hit, you don't need to try to fight a hit for extra yardage, for somebody can come in and strip you from the ball or anything like that. Like you said, just run straight ahead. You don't get a first down, you can milk the clock down, or you can force Pikeview to start calling timeouts.
Yeah, exactly.
And then punt the ball. But you got to give Shady a lot of credit. Like I said, they didn't have their best half of football in that first half, and they were down 20-7. But they really – and I think they set the tone, as you mentioned in your Beckley Automall keys to the second half, when they came out and they scored on the first drive of the second half, and then they got a turnover, and just like that, they got the game tied.
Yes, and it was a scoring drive and one play by Pikeview and a turnover. And that just really – it was a tale of 2 halves. And the second half came up gold for the Shady Spring Tigers.
Yeah, Pikeview just not – even though – and Pikeview fought back and even took the lead at 26-20. And since then, Shady has scored the last 20 points unanswered and are up 40-26. Just a 3rd and 5 play out of the timeout. Force Shady on their own 35-yard line, and I expect a run. I'd be really surprised anything other than a run, and it is Whitaker. He's got the edge. He might get the first down. He does, and there's going to be a penalty flag, I think, thrown. I think they're going to get Shady for a block in the back. Did they throw a flag? I thought I saw one, maybe not.
I saw a flag.
I thought I saw a flag, but nope, it's going to be a big first down to the 46-yard line.
No, they're running the clock. Yeah, it was a first down. That was big.
So out to the 46, they needed 5 and they got 11. And, we're going to be under 4 minutes, and Shady can just take its time and just, like I said, continue to run the ball and run the clock out and punch their ticket to the postseason. From the 46, under 4 minutes for the game. Cameron Mans in no hurry. Gets the snap, hands off to Whitaker. Whitaker just hanging on to the ball. And he's going to lose a couple yards. And actually, what I saw over there looks like somebody. What it was is there's something. Majorette threw something up in the air, and that's why I thought there was a flag, and I just noticed that now.
3:25 on a rolling clock, Maris, and you're Shady. You definitely, if you pick up one more first down, it's not you don't have to pick it up, but if you pick it up, it's definitely victory formation.
Yeah, and Pikeview not using any timeouts. Obviously, if it was one score, they would be, but maybe 2 scores they feel maybe they don't need to, because you got to think Pikeview's got to play Nicholas. They got to play Friday too.
Yes,
they got to play Nicholas County Friday.
A tough game here.
It has been, and then to recuperate and go up to Nicholas County and play a very good team on Fridays. Here's a handoff, and that's a nice run, and here's going to be Whitaker, and he'll seal the deal. He'll get a first down as he will cross midfield and get into Pikeview territory. He'll cross the Pikeview 45-yard line and get the ball down to the 42-yard line, and that should seal the deal.
So right now they'll roll the clock as soon as they spot the chains, it's looking real good that Shady will make the playoffs, I think, for the first time. Well, I know since 2018, I think.
So Shady was going to finish at 7-3. As I mentioned, Pikeview's, they'll go to 2-7 with this loss. Pikeview will travel to Summersville to take on Nicholas County Friday night, which is the final night of the regular season. And Shady will hand the ball. Here's another running play. That'll be Whitaker, and he'll get the ball down to the 40-yard line. And the clock continues to turn as we're approaching 2 minutes left in the game. But this, Eric, we see the score of 2 touchdowns, and if people didn't watch, or if they don't watch it on the replay of YouTube, they're going to think this game was much more competitive than this 2 touchdown score is indicated.
Yeah, and as you stated, it was 26-26 late in the third quarter.
And even going a step further, Pikeview was up 26-20 before Shady scored the last 20 points of the game.
Right. And
so Shady now under 2 minutes, second down play. They just need a couple more runs, and they can put a bow on this and wrap it up. As it'll be a run to Whitaker, and he's inside the 40 for a yard or 2. And now Pikeview, I think, is going to burn a timeout here, and they will with 1:32 left in the game. So, Eric, we know that we're going to follow Independence when the postseason comes. We know that Shady was 16th coming into this game. Perhaps if the football gods will make it work, it could be Shady 15 against Independence 2. We've already saw that once this year. Independence won that game big, 50-17. But the second time around, who knows? And could have 2 Raleigh County teams playing again.
And if you would talk to Coach John H. Lilly, he would not probably want to see that, because sometimes you don't want to see a common opponent, a county rivalry or whatever. But I think that would be fun. It'd be fun to broadcast. It'll be fun for the viewers, and fun for the people that show up and watch the game.
Yeah, but I'm sure if you're Coach Vince Colasurto on your way back to Raleigh County, I'm sure at this point you're not really concerned with who you're going to play. You just know that you're going to play in the postseason.
Yeah, and I just think Coach Colasurto, Vince, will probably they'll just revel in this victory and enjoy it, probably give the kids a couple of days off. Let Pinardo probably heal up, because he really banged in between the tackles in the second half.
Yep. So here's a running play to Pinardo, and he'll move the pile forward. Going to bring up a third down play. Pikeview's going to burn another timeout with 1:25 left in the game. But, Eric, it could be something that with Shady playing a tough game the way they beat Liberty on Friday, and then turning around here and playing tonight on Tuesday, that after tonight they won't play until the postseason next week. I don't know. Coach Colasurto maybe will give them the rest of the week off and have them heal up and be ready next Monday for practice once they know who they're going to play.
In this day and age of huddle and all that stuff, you probably can keep them mentally involved, and stuff. But it wouldn't be bad to have the rest of the week off and, heal up. They probably get them together and do some film study.
And not only huddle, but you got YouTube video production. They go back and watch all the games that we've done.
That's how they should spend their time. Go back and watch.
Well, they should, and they can see how you make me look gooder. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I need all the help, too, from our handy stat man, Chris Farish. And, Chris Farish and I had worked together previous, as you and I have, with Beckley football. You and I with both Beckley football and Beckley basketball. And Chris and I had worked together before, and he's a nice addition to what we've got going on here at Video Production, as all of our gang is, especially our main man, Nick Askins, and also Nick Eskins, that is. I got to get his name right, and Andrew Bolin doing another outstanding job.
Yeah, if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't know what we were doing.
I don't know what I'm doing anyway. I'm just in the mix. You guys picked me up, and I appreciate that. Well, here's Shady out of the timeout. A fourth down play. They'll run the ball. And Pinardo will get a first down and more, and that should seal the deal as he picks up the first down across the left side. But there is a penalty flag, and that might erase that first down.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold. You know, it was probably a hold because they're not used to Pinardo bouncing it to the outside. He tricked the lineman. He's usually in between the tackles, so that will take them back, and we'll get another try here on fourth down.
But, Eric, what it will allow them to do with 117.
Run more clock.
You can run more clock, and then the clock would stop if Shady doesn't get a first down on the change of possession. Right, but, it doesn't give Pikeview a lot of time left. And Shady might just punt it because the ball is back to the 45, and if you don't make any yardage, you don't want to give Pikeview a shorter field. Not a short field, but a shorter field.
And that's exactly what I think I would do. I think I would probably punt it.
And they may not. Clock's running. So we're going to be under a minute by the time Shady snaps the ball.
I thought it was a dead ball
Me
penalty.
too. I didn't realize that the clock would continue to run.
This is the right thing to do here.
Yeah, they can just run. In fact, here's another thing you can do. There's going to be a timeout called by Shady.
They may have called a timeout to punt it.
Well, what I was going to say, you could run it all the way down, take a penalty, and back up 5 and then punt it. Because you could take the 25 seconds off the clock.
Yes.
So,
well, let's see what they come up with here.
But I'm sure Coach Curl-Serto is going to tell them, look, we're just going to run the ball straight ahead. And then Pikeview, if they don't make the first down, which they're going to need, 12, 13 yards.
13 to go, it says.
But you got to give Shady a lot of credit because at halftime, it didn't look good with Pikeview up 20-7. And then, like I said, Shady able to get the first drive of the second half, a touchdown. And as you stated, a one-play turnover then on Pikeview, then boom, it was 20-20 just like that.
And it was just what they needed. As you stated, you said you can't get them. You need to score quick. You can't get them all in one play, but they did a good job of scoring probably in 4 plays.
Yeah.
And getting that turnover on one play and right back on offense was what was good football, and got them to get the momentum and turn this game around.
Yeah, it looks like Shady is going to punt. Yeah, the Lou Holtz always used to say you can't score 2 touchdowns on one play, and when you're 2 touchdowns behind, you can't score the second touchdown till you get the first one. And Shady was very patient and got that first touchdown. Then they got the break they needed to get the second touchdown, and then they fell behind 26-20, and then they got real busy.
Yeah, you have to, commend Pikeview for the fight they put up.
Yeah.
They made Shady earn this victory, and even after they were tied, they were able to retake the lead. And it was a game of runs, so to speak. It's kind of like a basketball game, a game of runs, and in the end, Shady was able to tack 2 and 3 touchdowns more on.
You're right, and then, of course, Pikeview will close out their regular season. They'll have to go to Summersville to take on a very good Nicholas County team. And Nicholas County is going to be in the playoffs. It's just a matter of where Nicholas County is going to finish, as we had an opportunity to see Nicholas County twice this year, once against Shady, once against Independence.
Yeah, and Nicholas is definitely, we said when we did the Shady Spring game that they will be a playoff team.
So Shady's going to punt it on fourth down. They've put time back on the clock at 1:10. There's the snap to Cameron Mans. He will punt it away. This is a booming punt. And he's going to punt this out of bounds, which that's a smart thing to do because there's no return.
What a great punt. That's an amazing punt. That will be inside the 1-yard line.
So that will seal the deal. Everything that's going right for Shady, just one more thing going right, and able to down that ball, as you mentioned, Eric, at the 1-yard line and force a 99-yard drive by Pikeview with just 59 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, that was perfectly executed. And you can get the ball to die, on a natural grass surface like that with a little bit of moisture. And Cameron Mans, that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about. He can punt that football.
So Peyton Greer, who's really had a good game, he'll be back out there to quarterback. And also their Pikeview excellent receiver in Dylan Blake. But when I look at this Pikeview team, Eric, I'm a little surprised. I would have thought that they had could, with the talent that I see that they have, maybe would be able to win more than a couple of games. As you said earlier, they have really made Shady really fight and claw and earn this. And now what do we have? We have a timeout on Shady will burn a timeout. And I'm sure that Coach Colasorto is reminding his team we don't want to give up the big deep pass, don't get beat deep and give up a 99-yard bomb.
Yeah, but we've seen more timeouts and more stoppage of play this last minute and 30 seconds than we have the whole game.
Yeah, this second half has drug on for sure.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes, and the one thing I question is, like, Shady's in the driver's seat, and they've called 2 timeouts themselves.
But I guess right here, especially on I'm sure here, they want to make sure that they've got safeties really deep and they don't give up the big bomb.
Well, you can do that by going, hey.
Well, I know, but you know how coaches are. Coaches want to make sure, listen, they, communicate. It is hard to win on any level. It is hard to win, and it's hard to win on the road.
Hey, I know it's easy for me to sit up here, as a commentator and say it, but I think in this scenario they played too deep earlier in the game and not let anybody get behind you.
But as I say, it is very hard to win. It's hard to win anywhere. It's definitely hard to win on the road. And I think more than what you said, that Pikeview has really made Shady earn this win tonight.
Right, they really have.
So on their own 1-yard line, they'll work out of the shotgun in their own end zone. And here comes the pass, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. And thought for a minute there might have been a safety, as the quarterback that time was trying to get the ball out here on the near side. And Peyton Greer trying to get the ball to the receiver. And Shady had brought pressure on him and forced the errant pass. So with the clock stopping on the incompletion, 54 seconds left in the game, and this has kind of drug out a little bit here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, right here, I would just rush 3, drop people, and let them complete the pass, make the tackle.
So it'll be second down, really second 99, because they really have to score second and 10 technically, but second and 99 because they got to get the ball down the field. Like I said, Shady only going to rush 3, stay back in coverage. Here's a pass out of his own end zone, going to go throw the deep ball. This might be picked, and it is. It's intercepted at the 30-yard line, and that will do it. Now all Shady will have to do is come out and get one knee.
The best play of the game.
And the game is over, yes.
Victory
formation. As that nice interception that time by Tyler Mackey. He will intercept the ball at the 30-yard line. So, no, they're going to say that Pikeview, they're going to give the ball back to Pikeview. I don't know about that. That ball was clearly intercepted.
Let's look at this.
The offensive man,
watch
Eric. The offensive man grabs it after they're on the ground. That ball was intercepted.
And I think
the ball's picked, and then the offensive guy reached in and tried to.
Yeah, took it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The officials done a good job, but when they see that on the replay, they're going to say, yeah, that should have been an interception. Because the rule does state, just like in baseball, the tie goes to the runner. But in this case, that ball was clearly intercepted. So they're going to say it's a catch and get the ball out to the 35-yard line. The clock should start running. I don't think a timeout was called. And they've set the chains. They should have already ran the clock. And the quarterback is going to go down. He's going to be sacked. His career goes down. The clock should continue to run, and it does. So we're down to our final 30 seconds of the game. And perhaps this could be the last play of the game, under 20 seconds, as the ball is snapped back to Peyton Greer. He's going to throw the ball deep down the middle, and this will be picked off, and it is. And Shady has picked this ball off, and that's going to be Showalter. As he runs it back on the far side, he gets yanked by the face mask. And, I know Mackey wants to get up and say something, Showalter rather, and he just walks it off because that's what happens when you get into a situation like this where the game should have been over. And they have one more play. So Shady will win the game 40-26 and will advance their record to 7-3 and just wait and see where they will finish in the postseason, or where they'll finish to get into the postseason. So they'll walk off the penalty of the face mask, and then Shady will just need to take a knee, and that'll be the ball game. Pikeview, as I mentioned, they'll have one more game left. They have to go to Summersville to take on Nicholas County on Friday night. And Shady will just take a knee and will end the game. Final score is going to be Shady 40 and Pikeview 26. So there's the knee. That's the game. Once again, the final score is Shady 40, Pikeview 26. Take our fourth quarter break, come back and recap. You're watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Production.
The Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia high school athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
You have a goal. You know what you want. Start with us. New River Community and Technical College, your community college. Take classes online or in a classroom in Beaver, Lewisburg, Summersville, or Princeton, or step outside the classroom in one of our technical or health programs. Find flexible and affordable options to help you reach your goal. It's closer than you think when you start with us. New River Community and Technical College. Apply today.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview. And, Eric, I have to share this text I just got from one of my officiating friends when I said in baseball the tie goes to the runner, and the official let me know there are no ties in baseball. But as you know, as well as I know, sometimes that the ball and the foot reaches the ball reaches the first baseman's glove at the same time that the runner's foot reaches the bag. Therefore, you can have a tie.
Exactly.
So when I see that official again, I'll say, what do you know? No. Actually, he's a very good official. But anyway, he was having fun with me. I'm having fun with him. Once again, final score. Shady wins the ball game 40-26. So Shady will finish their regular season at 7-3. And now, Eric, Shady will just have to wait and see where they will finish and to where they will go. The one thing that Shady knows, that they will be playing in the postseason.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that they do know. They just know that they need to figure out where they're going to be. The visiting team gets to choose the day and time. So
that is correct.
Correct. So they will definitely be the visiting team. So we'll see what they choose.
And, you know, we know that Independence has already locked down a playoff spot. They are going to finish number 2 in AA. Shady is in, and if Liberty can beat Wyoming East on Friday, that will be the third AA team in Raleigh County that will have locked up a playoff spot.
And that's huge for the county. And we must even talk about the 4th team in the county. The Woodrow Wilson Beckley Flying Eagles have a chance if they can go on the road to South Charleston and pull out a victory. They will also be in the playoffs.
We're going to go ahead and take our first post-game break, and then when we come back, Eric, you will have some numbers, some team and individual totals on this Shady victory as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Production.
General Stores has served our hometowns for decades. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks and even discounts on fuel. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you.
If you're looking to sell your vehicle, Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot.
It was an interception. That first one? Yeah, definitely an interception. Do you have that play?
General Stores has served our hometowns for decades. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks and even discounts on fuel. And by the way, tell them Hug sent you.
If you're looking to sell your vehicle, Auto Buyers of West Virginia is your solution. We buy all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs and have a simple and safe way to sell your vehicle. We'll give you a free appraisal on your vehicle and make you an offer to buy it on the spot. Whether you're still making payments or have a clear title, we'll turn your car into cash today at Auto Buyers of West Virginia. So come see us at Cranberry Creek Shopping Center off Eisenhower Drive in Beckley. Auto Buyers of West Virginia, the simple, safe, and secure way to sell your vehicle.
first set of wheels didn't come with complications or strings or hassles. It can be that way again. Tire Pros. Hassle-free, guaranteed.
As a former college football player, I realized that sports-related injuries can happen real fast. Hello, I'm Dr. Gross. If your child or grandchild is dealing with sports-related injuries, or maybe you're dealing with something that just won't go away, call me today and I can help you get back on the playing field. To better serve you, see us at one of our 3 locations in Beckley, Whipple, and Sophia at the numbers listed below. So take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Little General Stores has served our hometowns for decades, providing those essential needs for the road of life. The LG family goes above and beyond to ensure that your experience is an easy one. That's why they offer the LG Rewards Card, a way to earn points for free drinks, coffee, and even discounts on fuel. Rest assured, you'll leave knowing they have your needs covered. And by the way,
tell them Hug sent you.
That's right. Little General Stores, your road's neighbor.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview High School here in Mercer County. Final score, Shady has defeated Pikeview, as you can see on your screen, 40-26. With the win, Shady will finish the regular season at 7-3, and they will await for the pairings to come out this weekend to see where they will be as far as the AA playoffs are concerned. As far as Pikeview is concerned, they've got one more regular season game, and they'll be at Summersville to take on Nicholas County on Friday night. But for this 40-26 victory tonight, for the numbers of the ball game, here's Eric as he has team and individual totals.
Okay, Mears, it was a tale of 2 halves. Pikeview really, dominated and controlled the game in the first half, and Pinardo for Shady Spring did a great job in the second half running between the tackles. Shady finishes the day with 343 total yards, 269 of which came on the ground. They had 2 running backs go over 100 yards. Bryson Pinardo leading the way with 21 touches, 146 yards, and 3 scores. And Caleb Whitaker carried the ball 23 times for 119 yards and 3 scores. On the flip side, Pikeview did it mostly through the air. They had a lot of yards rushing in the first half and was basically shut down by the Shady defense. They finished with 87 yards rushing, 292 total, 205 in the air, and Peyton Greer was 11 for 23 for 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 INTs. And Dylan Blake did all he could do. He had 8 receptions, 175 yards, and 1 score.
And, Shady had a rally on a couple of different occasions. As you know, Eric, they were down 20-7 at halftime. They tied the game at 20 and then got behind again 26-20 before they scored the final 20 points of the game and win going away 40-26.
Yeah, and it was big after going down 26-20. You thought the momentum was really back on Pikeview's side. Shady did a good job of answering the bell, so to speak, and coming back twice from deficits. And they really, the kids, you have to commend the kids and the coaching staff at halftime. We need to talk about Vince Colacerto, Phil, and all the coaches for making the adjustment to dedicate themselves to the run in the second half. And they really ran between the guards. And, I mean, it was amazing to see Pinardo run the ball in the second half.
Well, Shady wins it, as you can see on your screen, 40-26. We'll take our final post-game break. We'll come back and put a bow on this and wrap it up as Shady gets the win. And now for Shady, they march on to the postseason as you are watching live streaming coverage of high school football here on Video Productions.
Jack, did you see those new windows and doors the homeowner put on their home?
Yeah, and this new door they set us next to is sweet as pumpkin pie.
It's made in America. Quality made and efficient, too.
There's no time like now to buy new windows, siding, and doors from Window World of Beckley.
Choose from many door styles, siding colors, and window glass and grid options. We'll help you design your perfect home.
Call Window World of Beckley for your new window, siding, and door estimates.
Beckley Auto Mall, West Virginia's largest GMC Buick dealer, is a proud sponsor of West Virginia High School athletics and our area student athletes. Beckley Auto Mall, with 3 locations for your convenience: 3934 Robert C. Byrd Drive in Beckley, 199 Rogers Street, Princeton, and 368 Seneca Trail in Fairleigh. Plus, you can shop 24/7 at BeckleyAutomall.com. Beckley Auto Mall and West Virginia student athletes, a winning combination. GMC, we are professional grade.
Pioneer Community Bank, your banking needs are our priority. Looking to buy a home, a vehicle, or just need a personal loan for that special project? Our loan professionals are here for you. We also offer all business banking products, which allows us to serve all your financial needs. Set up your online banking at pioneercommunitybank.com and download the mobile app for your convenience and ask about our personal and business products today. Pioneer Community Bank, investing in Southern West Virginia since 1931. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
And we welcome you back to Pikeview High School one final time. Once again, the final score, Shady has defeated Pikeview 40-26. So Shady will punch their ticket to the AA playoffs next week. They just have to figure out where they are going to be, and they won't know that till Sunday. So for our crew here at the game site, for my main man, Eric Thomas, another excellent job on keeping me straight and keeping me trying to be smarter and gooder, and also for the stat man, and he's our main guy, Chris Farish, and for our producer and director, Andrew Boland, and most definitely, last but definitely not least, the guy that does all the heavy lifting and our security and the cameraman, Mr. Nick Eskins. I'm Maris Lowry repeating the final score. Shady has defeated Pikeview 40-26. Good night, everybody.